we finished round 8. We're going to the top 8. You got to pick your
Yeah.
horse, bud. I already know my horse. You know my horse. It's Orzhov Control right now. That list is looking real good.
That's fair. Well, and that it's funny going into this, like mono white mid range. I knew that was going to be a deck. I knew that was going to be a thing. Cool. Like, and we have Rakdos mid range. Oddly enough, I don't see much Grixis. I was expecting more Grixis in the house, and it's just not really here right now. Apparently, people have learned how to. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just been beat up on so much. People have adapted and shifted to other strategies. So rock on.
Yeah, well, I think Grixis has the hardest trouble against mono white.
Yeah, that makes sense. And maybe and I have a feeling Grixis, the popularity of the Grixis deck is probably why mono white is so popular now.
Yeah,
is because you can just you can clean up against Grixis. But if I got to pick a horse, I mean, there's an archetype that there's an archetype that is represented in our top 8 here that I'd be remiss if I didn't. I mean, I was rooting for it immediately. I'm not gonna lie, and it did manage to make the cut into the top 8, and that is Jund Reanimator.
Oh man, you gotta love a good Jund list.
We got Jund Reanimator, baby. Again, another thing. If you've never pulled off the turn 4 Titan of Industry into a Fable flip, it's
man,
it's the best.
I'm honest. I've gotten out of the try to turn 4 the Titan. I'm turn 4 in Timirex every time.
That's delightful too. Not gonna lie.
16 haste damage, 8 poison counters. A lot to deal with.
Yeah, what can you do? It's yeah. Well, and then that deck also we have Atraxa as well, legal and standard. So another phenomenal. Like if you can get Atraxa on turn 4, your opponent is just done. You know, and I love Atraxa specifically too because I've heard some people say like, is Atraxa really that good? I mean, she does die to removal. It's like she ETB'd and just drew me 5 cards. Like, yeah, she's good, man. Like, yeah, even if you do have an immediate kill spell for the 7/7 body online, fine.
This is another thing too. I love Mirrex. I think that's such a great land. It's the kind of like the second coming of Castle Ardenvale. It's a great card, and it's a perfect do nothing card. It's like, oh, you do nothing, I'm making a 1/1. It's like you don't need the creature to block. You just need. Eventually, they're gonna get through, and eventually, you're just gonna have a lot of poison counters on you, where you're like, I can't let anything hit me.
Oh yeah, well, and it's kind of brilliant. Yeah, and I agree with that. And you know, we're in a situation where Eyelids playing control a lot of the time is going to just play their land and say go and hold mana up for interaction that they have, right? That's naturally what you do in that kind of a situation. So, well, if you do nothing and go to your end step, yeah, it's like, well, I'll just tap this and make a might. Cool. I've accomplished something on this turn cycle, no matter what. Yeah, and that's exactly what. So we see Eyelids leaving mana open here. Yeah, and they left enough for Mirrex. Now they do have to go for the throat if given a decent target. And here we have the Goblin Shaman, which I generally.
Yeah. I was just gonna say Mirrex first. I don't think you need
first,
to.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to kill the token right now. You can kill it on your turn.
Yep. Yeah, you can blast the token here and still be able to throw it on the wedding announcement and feel just fine, I'd say.
And get a draw. You don't need right at this point. You don't need tokens. You just need draws.
Yeah. So go ahead and just slam in 3 damage and a poison counter and a fresh card. You know, you're tapped out, so at this point the opponent can do something. But you've also got Wanderer back, so go nuts.
They got blue now, so let's see. Are they running? It says domain control. So are they actually running? They're not running counter spells.
Interesting, but they do have drag to the bottom. Brotherhood's End was well timed there.
Brotherhood's End's good, but you got Eternal Wanderer coming out now.
Yeah, this Orzhov control list. It's funny because it is in fact a control list. Like I don't feel like that's a poor fit as far as the label goes, but it was providing the early aggression here, which is pretty cool. All right, 2/2 double strike tokens. It's pretty good 0 ability.
That's from what I hear, that's pretty good.
It's not bad. Yeah, double strike is funny. Certain keywords, jump off the page a little bit more than others, and double strike is definitely one of those.
So now, do they go? Are they running Farewell? They're not running Farewell, so maybe. Okay,
Yeah, they're
Where they
gonna
go for?
discard the herd migration. Go get a forest. Gain a little bit of life. Nothing wrong with that.
So this is Unleash the Inferno. Oh, okay. No,
Ooh,
it's
Leyline
Leyline.
Binding. Yep. That's pretty excellent.
Leyline Binding is good.
Having a Wandering Emperor back. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, just swing and see if they're not going to block. So then you're going to go. I would go Wandering Emperor on my main phase here.
Yeah.
Or on my combat stage to get 6 damage through.
Oh, true. They could have beefed up the damage on the double striker. Yeah, looks like they're going to keep it back. Now,
I feel like with the Orzhov list, like you have the chance to apply pressure. I think you want to apply as much pressure as you can, like right away.
Yeah, I'm kind of agree. Well, and if Geo there did block with the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Wandering Emperor would have come down and buffed the human. So, okay. Here's another Leyline Binding. Coming down for the double striker. Makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Man, Leyline Binding, that card still kind of blows my mind.
Ooh, what either that's a good draw they had in their hand. Either way, great play.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so Kaya and Tangible Slayer are going to get rid of the wedding announcement.
I don't think I would have got the wedding announcement there.
I don't know. Getting a flying anthem on your side of the field is kind of neat.
Flying anthem, but getting a fresh. I know you don't know the wedding announcement's there, but the wedding announcement's already done it's already done its thing.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I like to leave that there regardless, just like whatever. But if another wedding announcement comes down, get that wedding, then you're gonna get 3 tokens, you're gonna get more draws, and you're gonna get an anthem effect.
True.
You get more for your buck. And I always try to get more for my effect of my cards rather than just like a simple 1-for-1, you know?
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Well, but in this case, getting the wedding festivities, which the backside of wedding announcement, they have that flying anthem that the Reflection of Kikijiki can copy.
It can copy,
which is pretty cool.
It's cool. Do you still get the 1/1 even though you have to sacrifice it?
What do you mean?
So it's gonna become a regular, like it's gonna be a wedding announcement, right? It won't be flipped.
No, it will be. It'll be copied wedding festivities.
Okay, it will be. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because the token doesn't have the other side. Yeah, the token doesn't recognize the other side at all. So we have the Kaya uptick. Drain for 3. But yeah, so because it is the wedding festivities, it's giving all the creatures. Like you'll notice that Reflection of Kikijiki is now a 4/4, which is just delightful. And so yeah, this is 3 damage to the Wandering Emperor and 3 damage to Eyelid's face. Geo there is aware that one of the cards in Eyelid's hand is a plane. They do not know the other one is as well.
Yeah, I think this. What does Orzhov have to compete against this? Because I don't think they can win. I don't think they can win once Kaya comes down.
Mm-hmm. And Herd Migration.
So we have Depop. You can draw Depop, but you still don't deal with the Kaya.
Yeah, and like Emperor here is nice, but it's just not enough. Yeah, so they're going to take the shot at the Anthem. And it does represent a lot of damage prevention, to be fair. Yeah, you can't swing into that.
Can't swing into the herd.
Yeah.
You're kind of hoping for Depop here. And I'm looking at Orzhov's sideboard. No Shieldred's Edict.
Which would be pretty nice here, yeah.
Yeah, once Kaya hits the field, they can't get rid of it.
But there we go. So now that took the wedding announcement. Notably without any counters on it, which is interesting. I'm kind of surprised that's how that behaved, but...
So now you're going to get... Well, you don't copy the counters.
Right. So
they're going to get 2 draws?
Or no, that's right. Sorry, the counters come out at the end step. I thought you were putting them out and taking them out. My apologies. I was blank on that. You're right. Of course you wouldn't. Although, because there is that one copy, you will get 2 triggers before that one is sacrificed. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, you draw 2 cards here. You do put the counter on the token, but it disappears immediately. You know, we were talking about how nice Mirex is, and it is. I don't know about you, but I stand by that. But it's a little lackluster here.
It's good. The only thing with, like, again, it's these domain lists, the 5-color lists, they don't do good against lists that dirtle. If you're a slow list, if you can't kill fast, you're gonna get O-grind, and that's what these 5-color lists do. Like, they're gonna O-grind you.
Yeah. Well, and I think the key there was really just having just better threats. You know, at the end of the day, the threats were just better. I mean, being able to have Fable the Mirror Breaker with Kaya like that was, I mean, that setup's disgusting. You need to be able to answer. I mean, those are 2 must-answer threats immediately, and then Herd Migration that was the nail in the coffin, because 5 3/3s?
5 3/3s is pretty good from what I hear. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is no joke. So
they're looking to do. Oh yeah, see, they can't kill fast here, so they need to overvalue. But so you basically they're the 5-color decks, like with it being Leyline Binding, that's their interaction. So you need to bring in cards that kind of compete against it. So they brought in all their Lorens. They have Destroy Evil, so they have ways of removing that permanent.
Yeah. Well, and I also, so in Island Sideboard, they're also running Path of Peril, which I think is a really good call. But I also think they were correct in not bringing it in, because while at the end that game ended with GL having a ton of tokens online, but that's not the primary plan for that deck, like you're saying. Like, they're really trying to beat you with those value enchantments and planeswalkers. So you need to be able to attack that angle first. And if they happen to get the Herd Migration again, I mean, well, so be it. You know, but at the same time, this deck is main decking answers to that. You know, depopulate handles the Herd Migration, no problem. We just didn't see in that game.
And also, in the same sense too, it also, your tokens can effectively block their tokens. Right? Like, you can still trade up, you can still make trades. It's not like your thing is like, you need to be able to kill the Leyline Bindings. You need to make sure you can kind of hit their Bank Busters. And you need to try to make sure you can deal with that Kaya.
Absolutely. Well, and Island's on a snap keep on 7. 2-lander with an Ambitious Farmhand and a Bank Buster and a Lauren, and then drawing into the Caves of Koilos. Feels great. Honestly, that keep was the fastest, like, snap keep I think I've ever seen.
It's like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we're good to go. You're like, okay, wow, got it. I respect that. I respect that.
Sweet Lauren play here.
Yep. On the play, Bank Buster on 2 into Lauren to break the Bank Buster on the opposite side. Beautiful. Like, that lined up perfectly.
Oh, yep, now I smell a Disdainful Stroke.
Possibly. They're going to go for the Ambitious Farmhand here. And then keep up the mana for the Reckoner Bank Buster activation. Makes good sense. The other option was to throw the Restoration of Iganjo that turn.
Throw the Iganjo, but it's not mana efficient. You're not using all your mana that you can be.
Yep. So this is the better option. They're going to use all 4 mana. Yeah. And Soul Transfer off the top. Not bad. Into a Mirex as well. All right. So Islands is getting some killer draws here. Offering the trade. Jill doesn't take it. Restoration coming out.
That's one thing I always hate about Arena. You ever notice that when you go to search your library, it shows you the top card of your before you go to search? Like, mother, I could have drew that? Dang.
I know, I've had that happen a number of times where it's like, wait, why? No. Well, and that's one thing I learned in paper. Like, when I was first getting started, when I decided to take a mulligan, the first thing I always did was look and see what that next card was. I learned very, very quickly, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. You're not gonna like what you see.
No. Because, like, worst case, like, best case scenario, it was an expensive card. You didn't have the land. Okay, fine. And you shuffle it. But then what did you gain? Nothing. But then every time we're like, oh, I can't keep a 2-lander. Then you look and the next card was a land. It's like, oh, dang it. That would have been, yeah. It just feels bad. just feels bad. So no, don't check it. Just shuffle. But yeah, so the fact that Arena does it for you, where like when you're shuffling your deck, it's like, by the way, this is going to be the next one. I was like, man, don't tell me that. I'd rather that just remain Schrodinger's card and accept that. Anyway, so Restoration of Ganjo is going to grab Eyelids of Plains out of the graveyard. Always feels good. And that Sarah Paragon is hanging out.
Yeah, I'm honestly throwing the Paragon out before anything else. You need that sideboard has disable strokes. I definitely see them siding it in this match. This match is too good not to have them in there.
Oh yeah, there are too many big beefy threats in Island's deck to not have those. Yeah, and at this point, they're holding mana up. So,
and I mean, they also the domain control list also has no way of removing a resolved Kaya.
Yeah.
So the strokes are there.
Yeah, this could be a race to the Kaya. That is all right. Island's throwing Eternal Wanderer. Jill has a pause. There's the D stroke. You called it.
Called it. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So a Sarah Paragon could have baited out the disdainful stroke potentially.
And they definitely would have.
They also could have thrown the wedding announcement, drawn a card off Bankbuster, made the token, and just sat back. That also would have been okay. So they do have the Soul Transfer, however, which can get them. Although actually they'll be able to use both modes of Soul Transfer because they have the Restoration of Ganjo and the Bankbuster, so they can pull Wanderer back to hand and get rid of Kiki Jiki here, if I'm not mistaken. So Soul Transfer is looking pretty good. Here comes Sarah Paragon, possibly to bait out another spell. It does not. Oh, and Lauren coming down.
Hot and heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Get rid of the Fable.
Getting rid of the Fable that has not flipped yet. All right, Eyelids looking to crew the Bankbuster. Let's see what happens here. So yeah, Bankbuster's going to get crewed. It still has one counter on it. But it's going to crash in. And I can appreciate the idea of just pressuring Geo's life total here. Because, you know, they were at 15. They have the Kiki Jiki and the Goblin Shaman, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So neither of those are great blocks. Because Kiki Jiki by himself is kind of, I don't know, pretty lackluster. Although, to be fair, actually, copying the Goblin Shaman also doesn't feel great. But it looks like they're going to go for it.
What could they need 2 more mana for?
Mm-hmm.
What do they need 2 more mana for?
Well, that would get them up to 6. Which is a pretty good spot to be.
So they're looking to... They have a...
I mean, maybe a Kami War?
They do have... It might be a Kami War. Or
that's a one of in the main.
Maybe
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be pretty stoked to see a Kami War resolved today.
I think it might be a Cruelty of Gix.
Ooh, could be. Yep. It's funny. A number of people are playing Cruelty of Gix today, and I still think it's underrated. I love that card. All right. Brotherhood's End is going to deal with a big chunk of Islands board. And is there another piece of removal to deal with Sarah Paragon?
I think they're drawing. I think they want to draw main after a second main phase. Yeah. So tap out. Tap out is sweet here. A land is pretty huge. And with them tapping their mana, so with them tapping their mana now, that actually gave them a target for Soul Transfer.
Yep.
So you can Soul Transfer, get back Wanderer.
They're going to play Restoration of Ganjo using Sarah Paragon.
I think what Eyelids is trying to do is just trying to thin the deck out. They need to get to Kaya. This is like I said, it's a race to Kaya.
Yeah. Honestly, I would personally be jamming that Soul Transfer just because I can't think of the last time I was actually able to take advantage of both sides of Soul Transfer.
Yeah.
Or both modes, I should say. Yeah. Because
I get
the way that
they
works,
want to draw here. They want to draw. That's why.
yeah, which is fair. Which is fair. Usually, yeah, outdrawing your opponent is a good way to win a game. Unleash the Inferno. Yep. It's gonna trigger going after the wedding announcement. All right, so Sarah Paragon is gone, and the wedding announcement has been destroyed as well. But so the way Soul Transfer works is it has two different modes: either exile target creature or planeswalker, or return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. But if you control an artifact and an enchantment, when you cast it, you get to choose both, which is one of the it's kind of one of the limited mechanics. It was the Orzhov limited mechanic in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and that was, you know, one of the rares from it. So it's one of the only cards that people that sees any kind of meaningful play at this level that does that. But I don't know, it's interesting.
So they're offering the trade for Banky Bank.
Yep. And Jill's at 8, so the trade is reasonable. Now, the Restoration of Iganjo can bring the Bankbuster back next turn if Islets plays it here.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what they're going for.
And this also gets under D-Stroke, which I think that's still in their hand.
Yep.
They've used one. There's definitely another.
I don't know if you noticed, the Arena showed that what would have been the next card would have been a Kaya.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that shuffle hurts now. It was totally the right move given the information, but man, you hate to see it. Archangel of Wrath. All right. Card's pretty good.
Is that double kicked or single kick? Double kicks.
Double kicks, yep. Yeah, so the pilot and the farmhand are both going to get blasted. Gain of 4.
Notably, G-Cool has had 2 mana up every single time.
Yep. All right, here we have a Might, because we can.
All right, there's not much lands left in Eyelid's deck here.
No. Yeah, Bankbuster's coming back. It does come back tapped. So it can't be activated this turn, but it's back. All right, here we go. Soul Transfer. We're debating between the Wanderer or the Paragon, which is fair.
It's the Paragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Paragon. Okay. Yeah, it's the Paragon. Paragon does a little bit more. You know they have a D-Stroke. It's better to get the Paragon countered than the Wanderer.
True, but at the same time, if it does resolve, Paragon gives you really significant card advantage. But it doesn't, so here we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's 2 for 2, Ham. 2 for 2.
True. You see those coming. Yeah, you can sniff them out. I'm impressed. All right. And so the Might token, which was generated off of a land, is traded for the pilot. So nothing wrong with that.
This is land, and I'm assuming want a herd migration. Prove me right.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not betting against you at this point. That's for sure.
Unleash Inferno.
Okay. Unleash Inferno also excellent card, frankly. There's herd migration.
I was still right.
You know what's up. All right. Yeah, Lauren, not an amazing draw here. So, if you're Eyelids, this is an interesting question of at what point do you rock that farewell out?
When you're about to die. You really don't need to right now.
Yeah.
They have the double block here, so you're trading at least one.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, is this board state? Because you can say creatures and be blissfully happy.
Yeah, well, you'd be left with Bankbusters, which is okay. But I think you're just gonna you want to draw, leave enough mana up for another Mirrex. You have blockers, so you're not really worried about migration right now. That is terrifying.
Atraxa, Grand Unifier coming down for Geo there. Wow. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, that seals the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all of a sudden that farewell is kind of I mean, you kind of have to now, right?
Yeah. It's kind of, and that's the thing. Like I'm telling you, Ham. That's what these, like, if you're a control list, this is what kind of like fucks you.
Yeah.
Because you're not really running a counterspell deck, so you're just like, if you can't kill me, I'm gonna eventually draw into gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, the gas nowadays, like these 7-mana finishers, whether you're talking Kaya, whether you're talking Atraxa, I mean, Wandering Emperor's. Atraxa, or sorry, Kaya, Intangible Slayer off the top with a steel chair. Holy cow!
Snap Atraxa, snap Atraxa.
Exile that Atraxa, get your own.
No. Don't grab the Wanderer. Don't grab the Wanderer. Come on.
I was gonna say, you want a second Kaya?
You definitely want a second Kaya.
They can cast Wanderer right now.
Yeah, but you wanted that second Kaya.
Yeah, backup Kaya is pretty sweet. Holy cow. All right, Eternal Wanderer in the house too now. I mean, do you just uptick and eat one of those?
Oh,
beasts?
No, you're not. Yeah, you definitely uptick. You definitely uptick.
Yeah, but they decided to wipe. Yeah, because upticking would have just destroyed one of those beasts, and you would have held your board, including the one on Flying Death Toucher.
Exactly. You would have held your beast. You would have had a better board than they did, to the point where they had to, I guess, like, what their process is that they have Eternal Wanderer, so they're going to board wipe on their turn.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could have got through more damage by just pumping up one and then swinging.
Yeah. Oh, sure enough. And so, yeah, this Eternal Wanderer Blast allows, gets rid of the Architect of Restoration.
But I definitely would have crewed one of my Bank Busters.
Oh, but then it would have been destroyed immediately.
Why would it be destroyed?
Because it would have been a creature.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yeah. I get you.
Yeah. No, it's all good. All good. Okay, so going for the token generation. Get that Samurai. Uptick Kaya, do the gain to drain. Because with all this posturing and with how like nuts this board has been last couple of turns, Gioli over there is still only at 5.
Ooh.
Record Bankbuster going after Emperor.
I definitely would have went face. I would have left Emperor alone.
Yeah. Yeah, going face, getting him to 1 would have been pretty sweet.
Well, because you have Kaya lethal next turn, so you literally just had to build your blockers up to where they can't really kill Kaya, and then you had lethal.
Right.
Because now they're like, Islands is just flooding the board to another board wipe. Like, they could have another Wanderer. They have Gix right there, so they can reanimate.
Mm-hmm. Although, actually, I don't know if they have much in their graveyard that's worth reanimating. The Atraxa got exiled.
But they can reanimate things in the opponent's graveyard, right?
Yes, they can. Yeah, you can grab from any graveyard with Cruelty.
Yeah.
Man, that card's so good. I love Cruelty of Gix.
Yeah. Yeah, see, so you left yourself open to so much removal, and now they can kind of kill Kaya. You're down mana here. All right, we can Aganjo, which they've seen.
Yep. All right. So after all that, Islands is ahead on board. They were ahead on board. But yeah, there comes. Although at this point, I mean, yeah, now they're gonna uptick Wanderer, get rid of one of those beasts. Uptick Kaya, bring Geo down to 2. I mean, you just farewell naming creatures here, right? And then Kaya just wins. You can name creatures and graveyards.
That's
with
pretty much
farewell.
That's pretty much where I would be at.
Yeah, I would name creatures in graveyards here. That way that Cruelty of Gix isn't really worth anything. Actually, that would completely negate the Cruelty of Gix.
Creatures in graveyards. Yeah, creatures in graveyards.
Yeah, if you say graveyards, because with their life total only being 2, they can't take advantage of Chapter 2 of Cruelty of Gix.
Yeah, which they can't,
because
tutor.
It would kill them on the spot. They leave graveyards. Okay.
That's the one thing that I don't think people will read into Gix, is that it can get any creature from any graveyard.
Anybody. Yeah. Yeah, I think Farewell there was clutch, because now Kaya can carry it. Duress, yep.
It's nothing.
Yeah, that's
okay.
that. Take a peek and take a bow.
Big game 3. Big game 3, though. Big game 3.
No, this match is excellent. I'm loving this. So, yeah, no, this Orzhov list is pretty sweet.
So listen to this, hand. This is my little secret tech. They're running Skrelv's Hive. Skrelv's Hive is the perfect card that matches with Mirrex, and it's a perfect Dirtle card because it says, okay, I don't have to do anything, but I'm going to keep making bodies that eventually, if I have 3 poison counters on you, I'm going to gain life, so I'm not going to lose any more life. But you know that the domain list isn't going to be doing much, and you're not doing much, so you want a card that's going to balance that out. And Skrelv's Hive is perfect.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Well, and when you have so much, interaction with little one-to-one removals, just being able to have those mites. Like, I think the mites are actually kind of brilliant because they're very aggressive creatures. Just from a design perspective, I adore them. Because individually, they're not threatening at all. But when your opponent has 3 or 4 of them, all of a sudden you find yourself really having to, you have to factor them into combat really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then over time they just overwhelm you, just like a tiny little pest would do, So I think it's great. I love the way they did those. All right. Oh, so deal with a little more timely duress this time around.
Yeah. So this is good. Now, the play pattern that Eyelids is showing, it's holding your land up like that. You're effectively you're not fully paying attention to your hand. You don't know what you can draw. You can mistakenly let go of your mouse. That land drops, and you just drew a swamp. You're like, oh shoot, I did. It's rush play. Now I get that Eyelids and Sequel are on the back end here. I think their clocks are coming up to about 15 minutes.
I'd imagine so. Yeah. Yeah, because both game 1 and 2 were both pretty grindy games. And we're into 3 here. So yeah, I'm sure they're a factor. So you gotta keep moving. Yeah. Well, Farewell, that's a good thing to have in your back pocket.
Yeah. Get rid of the land because it ramps you regardless. You're gonna bring that back.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You can stick the ambitious farmhand to make sure you hit your land drop next turn and establish a body. Nothing wrong with that. All right.
Really need another black source here so that if we draw Kaya, we can cast it.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty darn important.
Remember, it's a race to Kaya. That's what this is all about.
We've seen that. We've seen that play out. Yeah. Whoever sticks Kaya first has a very strong advantage. And I think that's why Geo is getting so hasty on the duresses.
Yeah. That's because they know, if they end up resolving a Kaya, it's pretty well game over.
Yeah, and duress is one of those cards. It's easy to look at it. It's like, man, in so many situations it does nothing. It's like, true, but in so many situations, it's also a one-mana answer to get rid of the game-ending planeswalker your opponent is sitting on. Yeah, and when it lines up, it feels real good. Yeah, so I think siding those in actually makes a lot of sense here. All right. Yeah, more farmhands. Man, do not miss the land drops. That is... Unfortunately, they're all plains.
Yes, I would be playing the wedding announcements here.
Yeah, so playing out the wedding announcement makes a lot of sense. It looks like they're going to consider keeping the mana open for Bankbuster instead. And that's the line they're taking.
Yeah, I think like at this point in the game, like you're not, especially like when Sequel is behind the foot, like they're way behind on lands. I think they've missed three land drops. You right now don't really need cards. You just want to establish your board.
Right. Turn water off the top. That's pretty nice. All right. Geo rocking out the Fable the Mirror Breaker. Fantastic card.
Yeah, you're definitely hitting the Wander here. Here's the thing. You know what? I think I'm actually board wiping here. I think I don't need to Kaya.
Really?
Yeah. I think you want to get that Fable off the board.
Okay. That's fair, honestly. Looks like you're going to go with the Eternal Wanderer uptick.
Yeah, because like right now, like obviously, this is the play pattern that I'm seeing. Sequel hasn't drawn a land in quite some time, which means their hand is all gas.
Oh, yeah.
So that Fable is going to allow them to find lands.
Yeah, Chapter 2 on Fable is key here. So, I think you're right. Actually, cutting that off would have been potentially powerful. So, we'll see. Yeah. Geo is presumably going to discard 2 cards here. I'll be shocked if they don't. And then we'll see if a land drop follows. I suspect it will. Ooh, they discarded 1.
Yeah.
Archangel Wrath. That's it. Wow. Okay.
They have gas. They have gas in their hand. They're hoping to draw lands.
Fleetfoot Dancer.
Hold me closer.
Hold me closer, Fleetfoot Dancer. Absolutely. I love that card.
Hold me closer, Fleetfoot Dancer.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to double block to minimize damage going on Eternal Wanderer. You know, I've only had a Fleetfoot Dancer in a couple of my decks, and every single time it's the card. I mean, so we talk about this match coming down to like who can hit Kaya first. Every deck I've had that runs Fleetfoot Dancer, it's like I'm just
not yet. No. You can flicker your Bankbuster. Flicker your Bankbuster.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Let's use it. Blink that Buster. Bring it back with 3 counters.
Oh my goodness. Like, no, not yet.
Yep. There it is. And go for the lot. Hit them all.
Yeah, get them all. Get it out of here.
Going to completely shut down everything your opponent has. You're going to get your Bankbuster back with mana to activate it and 3 fresh counters on it. And your Planeswalker's untouched. Brilliant. That was a very good turn.
Yeah, that was a big turn. Big turn.
There's an Archangel of Wrath. Jill did find some lands there, so that's nice. Yep. They're going to double tap Emperor. Makes sense.
Big draw. Big some cards.
No missed land drops. It's just not a thing.
Yeah, you're exiling that. Don't flicker it.
No, they're going to. They're going to flicker it. All right. Yeah, so we got double wedding announcements, which is a pretty sweet setup. Now, the way that the Emperor's timing works is truly excellent because when you
comes at the end.
Yeah, it's the owner's next end step. So if you blink one of your permanents, you get it right back immediately at the end of turn. You know, after any board wipes or any shenanigans you got going on. But for your opponents, if you blink their permanents, they don't get it back for a whole nother round around the table, which is pretty fantastic. I'm a fan.
Mary's great draw here. Yeah, you were in some doo-doo.
A little bit.
I think you're gonna have to Sarah Paragon here.
Yeah, Paragon's not bad. Well, and you got all the mana in the world, so you can also drop Lauren and blow up one of those Fables.
Yeah, but you need you need to get rid of you need to have a blocker for the flyer. Is basically what I'm saying.
Well, do you need a blocker for the flyer when you have the Wandering Emperor in hand?
Yes, because you want to. The sequel is only really running effectively one board wipe. which is the Brotherhood's end. And I get you're trying to bump it up, but you can bolster your team up.
True.
Apply more pressure.
Yeah, so I was just taking the route of just keeping the Angel of Wrath just off the board with the upticks. Just keep it gone. And here comes Kaya.
And there's Kaya. So this is what I was saying, is that like you're dirtling. You're not applying pressure to the list that has it out to killing you.
Right. And Soul Transfer is a great answer to opposing Planeswalkers. Except Kaya.
Except Kaya.
Because Kaya does in fact have Hexproof. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue.
Like I said, I told you that G-Cool had gas in their hand.
Oh yeah. You clearly were not wrong on that. Yeah. All right. So we got a lot of stuff happening right now.
You're basically hoping that you can kill.
I mean, you need to. I mean, if I'm Eyelids here, I'm spending all my resources to remove blockers and sending everything at Kaya.
Yeah, you literally have to kill Kaya.
Gone.
You have to kill Kaya literally this turn.
Oh yeah, because if she gets a chance to +2, she's going to be out of reach in all likelihood. Yeah, so okay. You blink the token, so that's gone. I'm thinking Soul Transfer on that Archangel seems pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing here.
Making sure the auto tapper doesn't screw us here.
Yep, that's important. That's always fun with the auto tappers. Like you definitely don't want to use this pain land for anything, right? Yeah, you definitely want that to be colorless. Like, no, I do not. All right. Yeah, Soul Transfer, gonna get rid of the Angel. Sure. Perfect. All right.
Just tap the Paragon. I don't understand why you don't swing there. Just tap the Paragon and swing. They're pretty much forced to double block the Bank Buster if they want to kill it.
Well, this is enough. You know, Kaya's toast here. They're choosing to keep their Goblin Shamans alive. And just take out the 1/1s on the way. Which, okay, they're effectively free here, so sure.
I was just gonna say this is where you want to tick up, and
yeah, buffing the Samurai here makes sense. Because now if Jewel choose and Kaya off the top for Eyeless.
Let's go, double Kaya, let's go. You got bailed, Eyelids, and look, Eyelids is at 9 minutes now.
Yep, yeah, sure enough, that timer is a factor. Yeah, also Eyelids has been a competitor. It's a name we've seen here at the PizzaBox, and you know, hanging out. If you hung out on Magic Twitch streams, there's a chance you've seen Eyelids around. Great member of the community. So, and Gio also well played today. My goodness, holy cow!
Now keep in mind, Eyelids has 9 minutes to take G-Cool down from 30.
It's true. 30 life is a factor, and Unleash the Inferno is going to be able to take out the Eternal Wanderer and the wedding announcement. I mean, that is just a clean 2-for-1 right there. Yeah, I like Unleash the Inferno. In the current meta, it's just clean 2-for-1. So yeah, I mean, this is a home run slam Kaya down tick, eat the reflection of Kiki Jiki, and just crack a big old smile. That's the play I'm seeing.
I don't think you need to go wide here. I think I would have bolstered up the Wandering Emperor one more tick.
Yeah, but now the reflection of Kiki Jiki is on your side.
Yeah, let's go.
Feels pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, and these creatures have a lot of work to do against that 30 life total, but I think they're up to the task here.
And oddly enough, no Leyline Bindings came down.
Wow.
No Brotherhood's End. Eternal Wanderer can clean this up pretty good.
Sure can. Yep.
Have yourself a 2/2.
Yeah, again, no hesitation. Down tick, blast them all. Yep. Both players enjoying their respective grizzly bears. Jules is a little bit nicer, to be fair. However, Eyelids will get the job done against the Eternal Wanderer.
Kaya does win games. Kaya does win games.
Yep, she sure does. She's one of those cards, like when you first read that card, I don't know about you, but like my immediate reaction was like, holy cow, if this ever hits the battlefield, it's going to win a game. Followed shortly after, like the second thought though is, when is this ever going to hit the battlefield?
Yeah, I love other people's thoughts on it when they're like, it's a 7-mana planeswalker. It's never going to hit the field. I'm like, well,
turns out
saying never is,
it turns exactly. It turns out in these very controlling, very grindy, very grindy metas. Well, 7 mana, like, well, when both players like wipe the board 3 times, like, well, having 7 mana is not hard to find. It's not hard to get there.
Here's your Brotherhood's End.
Yep. Yeah, so Bankbuster's going to intercept the Goblin.
Oh.
End step. Mirex.
So nothing. All right. I guess that now it's GG's.
This has got to be GG's, I'd imagine.
Yeah, this is cleanup now.
Yeah, this has been wild. No question.
Wild game. Oh, and yeah. I'm happy. Well, I don't want to count my chickens yet, but I think I'm up there. I think we're good. You're wasting time there, Eyelids. You're wasting time, Eyelids.
6.5 minutes. They have 2 cards in hand, so
it's time to swing.
Time to smash. Let's go. Yeah. All right. And they do have Coven, so they can flip the Ambitious Farmhand, and they see
I said they have lethal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. It's easy.
That's what I was like. I was like, just swing. You have lethal.
Yeah. No, we're actually going to be. We're back to Eyelids on mono white.
Mono white, yeah.
And they are going up against, or sorry, no, Eyelids on Orzhov. Don't mind me. This is the Orzhov list, and they're going against mono white. Yeah, Daniel playing mono white. Now, the mobile client, glad it exists. Excellent. Sometimes the visuals not quite what we're looking for.
Not great for streaming.
Not great sometimes. Yeah,
it's still great to play.
Absolutely.
Now this is okay. This is what I was wondering is Daniel going to take the turn off to destroy a land that doesn't do much?
Yeah, exactly. Blowing up that duel, I mean, it's not nothing, but I think in this matchup specifically, Daniel is best served saving those for Mirex, and I think they know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Restoration of Ganjo down. I mean, Lauren is a fine answer to that.
Yeah, not being able to draw land here is pretty alarming.
A little bit. That is a bit of a bummer.
Definitely got to make sure you're land drops against mono white.
Yeah, going up against a more controlling deck, you can't afford to be behind on lands. That's devastating. All right, Bankbuster. Depop, I'm never mad to see it. But it's not going to be great here.
Yeah.
To the point where I wouldn't be surprised if those come out in sideboards. I don't know. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised either way, to be honest. But
no, the Depops will come out. I think you don't cut all of them. You keep one.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't run 3. You don't need to run 3.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, some other decks like the Grixis deck or like not that we saw a ton of it, but the mono red deck as well. Those are playing much more board centric strategies. So
yeah, like I see two Depop coming out. I see the Mightstone coming out. Vraska is probably gonna get out of there. And probably trim down on a Wanderer, and I see the Skrell Hives coming in, destroy evil, Lauren's coming in.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
I'd probably bring in Stonebrain.
Okay. Sure, because if you name, I'm trying to think against the mono white list. I mean, you name Eternal Wanderer, or
you name Wanderer, but I think I'm a cheeky player, so I'm naming either Field of Ruin or Demolition Field, and I'm stripping them. I'm stripping them of 4 lands.
That's pretty great. Yeah. Well, in fun fact, Stonebrain can hit. I mean, Stonebrain can hit basics, if I'm not mistaken, but you can only hit 4 of them at a time.
You can hit basics, but you can only get 4 of them.
Yeah. It's kind of brilliant. That card is wild.
Yeah. That's why it's really good against, again, all these other lists. Like, I think if I was a mono white player, it's what I would be playing.
Okay. Well, so Islands. So in Islands last turn, they didn't have any lands in hand. They played the one ambitious farmhand to go get a plains, dropped it, played the other farmhand to go get another plains. So they're good on lands here. Daniel's going to use Field of Ruin, targeting the Sanctum. This just becomes a swamp, and Eyelids is just shrugging that off.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it means nothing. Like, you literally, like, they could have had a Wandering Emperor here. So now Eyelids knows you don't have an Emperor? Okay, I'm going full force.
Right, exactly. Yeah, doing that pre-combat, that was an interesting choice. But yeah, here goes, wedding announcement into Bankbuster. I mean, this is a good value turn right here.
This is what we call value.
Oh, yes. Welcome to the circus of value.
Yeah.
Any Bioshock fans out there? I see you.
Welcome to the value. Cards I've just replayed.
All right. But yeah, so we got Bankbuster down, wedding announcements, chilling, doing a thing. We got 2 ambitious farmhands online. Lauren is going to come down.
What's the target?
1 source of card advantage. The Bankbuster this time. All right.
Bankbuster.
Fair enough. Honestly, both of those would be either were perfectly good hits. Daniel prioritized the Bankbuster, so fair enough. And let's see. I mean, at this point, Islands is only 2 mana off from getting Kaya down.
Double Lauren.
Ooh, well, okay. Ouch.
I'm perfectly okay with this. I don't know if I'm drawn. I don't know if I'm drawn.
Oh, Island sees Kaya. It's like, I just need to hit my land drops. Whatever else happens, I just need to hit my land drops. So they are doing whatever it takes to hit those land drops.
So we need a card here. Yeah, you can definitely go twice.
Yep. Yeah, wedding announcement and resto. So you guarantee draw the plains and then hit something else, which is second Depop, which I think you could.
Hitting the swamp there is actually huge too, because they're going to destroy this black source, but it doesn't matter. You turn off for a turn, I'm still getting Kaya next turn.
100%. Yeah, so
and that's what I mean. Like the mono white list is going to struggle against any list that runs a lot of basics, because you're taking it. You're spending 3 mana, or you're spending 2 mana because you get a land untapped. So Demolition Field hits nothing.
Yep, there aren't even any legal targets on the field at this point. Yeah. All right, so the Bankbuster draws, creates the token and the pilot.
Lay down arms. Oh no.
All right, Shadow Sanctum, sure.
All right.
Alan's going to discard the plains. Get a Bankbuster back. That feels pretty good. Honestly, I probably would have. I would have considered discarding one of the Depops, but yeah.
I think I would have kept the land. I would have discarded one of the Depops for sure.
Yeah, just draw 2 cards on a 0. Pretty good.
See, I'm like, when Kaya comes down, I never draw cards first.
Yeah.
I always do damage first because I'm tapped out. Why I don't need to draw right now. And like, you basically get to set your opponent up for a scry.
Yeah. I don't know. I can appreciate it. I would probably would have uptick there and gone for the drain, because with Daniel already at 12.
Yeah, well, A, they're at 12. B, you're tapped out. So you kind of want to just pressure their life total a little bit. And when you want to really draw cards is when you have open mana, right? You can cast your spells and do the thing. You don't really want to give your opponent time to set up. They're like, okay, oh shoot, I'm drawing a land next turn. Yeah, get that to the bottom.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, anytime you can assist your opponent in finding an answer to the thing you're doing, you should probably not do that.
Yeah.
It's not in your best interest. Yeah, but at this point, I mean, Daniel doesn't have a board presence. Kaya's already, still at 6.
Kaya's established. You have 3 blockers.
Yeah,
you chump all day.
Oh yeah, no question.
And Daniel's forced to swing at Kaya here for multiple turns. So Eyelids is just in a great spot here.
Yeah,
they're probably going to take the turn off here to Demolition Field and get them off this black source as the double land.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was even sitting on the go for the throats for good measure, but
yeah,
I mean, honestly, they haven't really been. Part of the reason they have so much interaction in their hand right now is Daniel hasn't really forced them to use it.
Yeah, and even if Daniel was to play their Haymaker, which is the Sanctuary Warden, Kaya can get rid of it
immediately.
And
yeah,
you get to have a Sanctuary Warden.
Yeah, exactly. So if Daniel is sitting on a Sanctuary Warden, maybe they just recently drew it. They're not really in a position where they want to cast it, because you would get effectively in this situation, you would remove some loyalty off Kaya, but otherwise you would just get a 1/1 citizen to draw a card. Like, that's not worth 6 mana.
No,
not at all. In fact, so yeah, that feels pretty bad. Now, unfortunately, we don't have we can't see Daniel's hand here, so we're not sure if that's what they're working with. It looks like they're debating something. Yeah, it looks like they're considering how they want to play this. Yeah, that Kai is terrifying. Oh my goodness.
The best play that they can have is maybe Wanderer, but you're wandering on your main phase. Farewell's a good play. Oh,
yep.
Well,
there it is. Boom. So Eyelids had advantage in a ton of different ways, and Daniel basically was just said there, okay, you have the Walker. There's nothing I can do about that, but you're not going to have anything else. Yeah, which, fair enough. Unfortunately for Daniel, Kaya still represents a lethal threat, and the Eternal Wanderer is now in the house to pump out some Samurai. And Eyelids has mana open and interaction in hand. So, I mean, yeah, this is wild. And this is still game one.
This is game one. And this is the brutal thing though right now. So Eyelids needs to close out here because Daniel's going to have a rough time trying to close this game out in 30 minutes.
True. Okay.
They can fare. I'm assuming that they have Wandering Emperor, so they can try to get rid of this token. But if that really doesn't matter,
yeah.
Did they get rid of graveyards when they farewell? I'm not sure if I've seen graveyards go away.
I don't believe they did.
So if they didn't get rid of graveyards, then that leaves Eyelids even in a better spot because they're running Sarah Paragon as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sarah Paragon and Restoration of Iganjo can take advantage of that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, opponent lose 3, game 3. That's a real clock. Absolutely. Mightstone, Weakstone, Divination Plus.
Yeah, flicker their Bankbuster. I think it's my move.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, or flick the Mightstone, Weakstone. Draw some more cards.
See, I again, you're trying to kill your opponent, so you're giving them another draw next turn. I think I definitely would have flickered their Bankbuster. You already have 6 cards in hand. I don't think you need more.
Yeah. Oh, they did not attack with the Samurai, assuming there's a Wandering Emperor. Which it looks like there probably is. Yep, there she is.
Yeah, I know a Wandering Emperor was coming.
Yep.
Well, you have
when you're going up against
token.
A mono white opponent who left mana up with that many cards in hand, yeah, it's it's a pretty safe bet that the Emperor's here. Man, Kaya on 10 loyalty.
Yeah, imagine.
Yikes. it's pretty brutal.
Imagine if Kaya actually had a good alt.
Oh man. Yeah, no, Kaya has like her ult is good, but it's attainable the moment she drops. And so it's not obviously not going to be as good as some of those real game shattering ones that we've seen on other walkers. All right. Yeah, it's going to go a couple of different ways. Let's see what happens. All right. Let's see.
I was wondering. I looked at chat for a second, and then I was like, "Oh, do I have flowers on my water cup?"
No, I have a my water vessel is a gigantic mason jar that I believe is what they were referencing. Yeah, I could be mistaken though. Anyway, but yes. So cheers, everybody in chat. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. All right, so the Eternal Wanderer down ticking here, making yet another samurai. Islet's sitting on 3 go for the throats.
So
3
this
of
is
them.
another wanderer. If they're a Ganjo.
Ganjo,
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
Not really, no.
You're going to use one of your removals here, though. You're going to use a go for the throat on this Vigilant token. End of turn.
Yeah. Wedding announcement, sure. Good value play.
I guess you don't have to because you have Depop.
Oh, true. At this point, yeah, Depop is just a free roll on all
Depop.
of it. Yeah. Yeah, Kaya Blast, Depop.
And they're probably going to flicker their Might Stone again for more draws.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've reached the point now. Oh, they're going to rock out a Samurai. Sure. And Resto of Ganjo. I mean, at this point, if I'm Eyelids, I'm probably just going to pass here.
I'm literally, this is the point where I'm in cleanup stage. I'm just passing because you're just killing clock at this point.
Yeah, exactly. You need to maintain the remainder of your clock. That's super important.
Yeah, blow this up now before they go ahead and try to Might Stone.
Yeah, I think before they untap anything, yeah.
Daniel is where I would scoop here. I would scoop and go to the next game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because at this point, like, the clock is going to be the biggest threat. All right. So let's see. Spirited Companion? Sure, but I mean, what are you trying to draw into?
Yeah, like the game is I don't think they can draw with Kaya on board and Wandering Emperor.
Yeah, because I mean, Daniel needs to have some. I don't believe there's a single card in Daniel's deck that can just get Kaya off the field at this point.
Yeah. With this much loyalty, there's not enough.
Yeah, with this much loyalty, a chump blocker and hexproof, like I don't see.
Yeah, it's like you could literally let this happen. So yeah, sure.
Yeah, just come on in, whatever. I have to settle for having an 8 loyalty planeswalker. Oh no, whose uptick is just going to insta kill you the moment I get priority back. Like, this is, yeah.
Like, are you trying to gain life here? Because I guess you could Wandering Emperor gain life, but go to 5. But what does that do? It doesn't do anything. You're just killing your own clock.
Yeah, so we keep mentioning the clock, and right now we're in game 1. So the clocks aren't currently visible. There's still, both players still have plenty on their clock. However, these moments are how we end up in games 3 where the clock is ticking down and people find themselves biting their nails trying to figure out how the heck they're going to win this match with, 2 minutes left on the clock or whatever. Like, holding priority for this long in these scenarios when the game is basically determined is how that happens. So if the clock ends up being a factor for Daniel, or for Islands, for that matter, honestly, this game, I mean, both players could have saved themselves quite a bit of.
So you can go for the throat, whatever they try to exile here. Go for the throat it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so they're going to try to gain 2 life here. So the Kaya didn't immediately kill. So, I mean, good work on Daniel trying to buy an extra turn here. That is clever. Let arms into another go for the throat.
But that's what you mean. You're just killing your clock to stay alive, but you're killing your clock.
Yeah. Yeah, sure enough, Islands just goes to the main phase, uptick Kaya, boom.
Yeah, go to next game.
We all knew that's how that was going to end.
Those scroll hives better come in.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Does not look like Eyelids is looking at the Skrelv's Hive. I think I would like to see the Skrelv's Hive come in here. They don't seem to be thinking that way. Yeah, they're going to grab their Feral True Evil. They did grab the Stone Brain. So that's
Stone
delightful.
Brain. What are they looking to grab with Stone Brain?
mean, getting rid of the opponent's Eternal Wonder is pretty solid.
But it's really only a 2-for-1, right? I think like you trying to grab their wedding announcements, you try to grab their laydowns. Like literally, this mono whitelist is a bunch of 2-ofs.
Mm-hmm.
The only 4-ofs they have is Wandering Emperor, Bankbuster, and Wedding Announcement, and those, the Stone Brain, you want them to be as impactful as possible.
Right. Yeah, and like effects like Stone Brain or Surgical Extraction, Unmoored Ego, that style effect where you name a card and you get to hit all of them, or even where you hit out of the graveyard, whatever the case may be. Those are great if you're going up against combo decks. You know, if my opponent needs a certain card in order to win, being able to just target it and knock it out of the game is huge. Mm-hmm. So in these mid-range grind fests, yeah, that kind of effect is generally not as impactful. Although I do have to say, one thing that if you're going up against this mono whitelist, a Pithing Needle is actually pretty solid right now. Because if you name...
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you name Wandering Emperor or Bankbuster with Pithing Needle, you're going to... Yeah, you can do a lot of damage for 1 mana.
110%. I love running Pithing Needle.
So good. Honestly, right now, even in like best of 1 or in game 1, on the play, if you throw Pithing Needle on 1 and name Bankbuster, you're going to hit more often than you don't, which is kind of wild. I'm not saying that's necessarily a great strategy if you're trying to win one of these tournaments, but you can do it just to have your opponent on the ladder go, what? How? How did you know? It's like, oh, it's like 70% of people are running that card. It's like, oh, yeah, it's okay. Anyway.
Pithing Needle's great, and Pithing Needle hits a lot. Like you can, was it Blood Harvester?
Yep. Blood Harvester.
Any Planeswalker,
all the walkers. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it hits a lot right now. All right, so Lauren is coming down to answer the wedding announcement. Man, Lauren is really well positioned in this meta. Okay, it looks like Isla's going to hold up Wandering Emperor mana. Which, yeah.
I wonder if Daniel gets greedy and tries to go for the Bankbuster swing here.
All right, Sarah Paragon coming in, sure. Ooh, which means the Bankbuster's going to get crewed.
Oh.
Yeah. All of a sudden, this Wandering Emperor feels so much better.
Punished.
Yes. So, had the Bankbuster not been crewed, the Emperor could have come down, made a Samurai, and traded with Lauren, so fine. However, being able to take out a Bankbuster while it has 3 counters on it, oh, baby.
Good Mirror here.
Feels so good. All right, so that human is going to get buffed. Mightstone and Weakstone come down. Vraska could come down completed as well.
No, you're definitely going to go Weakstone here and kill the Paragon.
Yeah, I think that's fair. No, and if you were to drop Vraska, you'd want to down tick and treasure the Paragon. So yeah, Weakstone makes sense. Oh, and then they have the Mightstone Weakstone gives them the mana to cast Bankbuster. That's just delightful. Yeah, you can't use it for anything else, so you might as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, stay back, keep a blocker, because you actually do want the Wandering Emperor to stick on the board here.
Mm-hmm.
That Field of Ruin is going to be aimed right towards Mirrex.
More than likely. And you go grab a Plains and feel fine.
Lay down arms.
Yep. Yeah, and then Lauren lines up nicely against Emperor here, so fair enough.
This is going to be brutal, because next turn you're going to be able to Bankbuster and Vraska draw twice.
Would you be able to draw twice that way? They wouldn't have the mana to activate Buster, would they?
Oh, there's a short one.
Yeah.
They'll get a Plains.
Well, but that just means that they could play out Vraska without completing her. They could pay 6 on Vraska.
But I think you just complete it, because you can still Bankbuster. You can Bankbuster and complete Vraska, right?
Good. Looks like they're going to go for value with the wedding announcement. All right.
Yeah, we got a blocker. We're not dying here.
No. And Daniel's down to 2 cards. So Daniel has a slight edge on the board right now, but I don't know.
Well, we have Vraska. As soon as Vraska hits the board, it's we can pretty well wrap that up. Right. Well, not wrap it up, but I mean, like, we have the winning percentage flows in Eyelid's hand.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so Eternal Wanderer coming down. That might change things. We'll see how they do this. Yeah, Blink and Lauren here definitely makes sense.
Yeah, they're going to... What do you want to blow up here? What would you go for?
I mean, probably Bankbuster. A Bankbuster wedding announcement. Yeah, I'm not too worried about my stone weak stone at this point. Yeah, I think Bankbuster makes sense.
All right, so now you have to go Vraska here and get rid of Lauren, or else you're just gonna lose your entire board.
Yeah, it's all gone. Yeah. Although actually, no, it still will be. So actually, no, not down taking makes sense here because Eternal Wanderer could still blink the treasure token.
Oh, it can.
With the treasure, and it's not a token. Sorry, you could blink the treasure and it would come back as Lauren. So, yeah, Vraska is removable, but not effective removal in this case.
True. Good catch.
Yep. Yeah, because unfortunately, if that down tick was, exile target creature and their controller gets a treasure, different story. But yeah.
Oh no,
not okay.
I think I would have double swung here.
Well, if Daniel double swings, then Lauren dies in combat.
That's fine. I think losing Lauren is fair here.
Yeah. Another wedding announcement.
Yeah, because you would have got 2 draws if you had a swung.
True.
I get that they're trying to kill the wedding announcements, but I think you need more cards right now. The life totals is
Scrolls Hive. Daniel knows what's up.
Yeah.
And
telling you,
who knows? That Scrolls Hive might be the factor here. We'll see. Okay.
Do we still have mana after? We only have 1 mana open after this. Okay.
Yeah, there's also the 2 Power Stone mana, but nothing to spend that on.
Nothing to spend it on.
All right. So I mean, looks like they're gonna choose to blink a token. Drawn with Vraska, get the proliferation. Yeah.
Okay, they found a land. I was literally like, did they play a land already?
I believe they did. Well, yeah.
Did they? I'm like, maybe they should have went farmhand, get the land, and then play the land.
Yeah. Man, both of these walkers are looking pretty scary.
Well, only one can be swung at Eternal Wanderer. They have to swing both at Vraska. Yeah, I was just going to say, you had to swing both at Vraska. Vraska is definitely the threat here because Vraska can just kill you.
Yeah, exactly. If you leave Vraska unchecked, it's just over. Ossification, let's go. And with that, Daniel's timer has become visible. They are now under 12 minutes left. And that means that they can only hold priority now for another 11 minutes, 45 seconds in this match. Or they
I said the game is definitely going to come down to time.
Yeah, no, and that it looks like because at this point, I mean, if Daniel has to win 2 games in that time, and running the mono white deck, that's a tall order.
Especially when we're just creating a ton of blockers.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like Daniel has a pretty strong advantage in this game, but they're not in a position where they can end it in the next 2 or 3 minutes of their clock. So I don't know.
Yeah, play the Mercs, and play both your wedding announcements. The reason why I'm saying play the Mercs is because you're forcing them to destroy the Mercs, which takes up more clock time because they got to go search for a land, destroy it, like activate it, search it, put it into play. That's like 6 seconds.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, we're watching Eyelid's turn go by, and you can see all those little moments.
Yeah, it's
all those little decision points to add up. I mean, Daniel's already down to 11 minutes. Okay, they're taking a swamp. They have 2 planes in hand, so sure. And they have cards, you know, again, they have cards in the deck that can fetch planes, so.
That's eight. What's that? That's 12 seconds
Mm-hmm.
for activating Demolition Field.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's looking good for Daniel, but
it's looking for Daniel, but the clock just keeps ticking.
Yep.
Clock damage is a thing. When you are in a grind fest, all you do is stay alive. Have more life than they do.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Eyelids, I mean, they're playing quickly. That's, you know, well, even that they're taking their time. They're thinking through their plays. You know, I'm certainly not saying they're rushing, but they're not letting
all these triggers that Daniel's putting on the stack is just more clock time.
Mm-hmm. Another Scrub Save. That's kind of fun. And might be the way they ultimately win this game, to be fair.
I mean, but winning this game is fine. You got to win the next game in less than 10 minutes.
Right. Exactly. Lands. You probably don't want to proliferate your wedding announcement, I'd imagine.
Yeah, don't proliferate the wedding announcement.
You could proliferate Daniels just to be cheeky, but no, they do. Okay. They want the anthem, it would seem. Fair enough.
I mean, Anthem is good here because it does block a little bit better.
Yeah.
Taking more time.
Late on arm, sure. Yeah, I think I'll be shocked if this match does not come down to time at this point. And honestly, I kind of saw that coming in that first game. Because there was a lot of waiting. You know, at this point, Daniel's going for Vraska. I mean, kind of gotta go. They're going all in on Vraska. Okay.
Okay, so
yeah, so you get it. You take out Vraska, sure. Honestly, given the time, I think it would make a lot of sense to go full face there. But
I think I would have went all face.
Yeah.
All
maybe
face.
Lauren at Vraska because Wandering Emperor couldn't take her out, but yeah. Let's see.
I wonder if Daniel knows about the clock right now.
That is always I always wonder that when we get to this point in the game. Just how conscious of that. Yeah, how conscious of that are they? All right.
Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
Exile. Lauren. Okay.
Yeah. Hitting Lauren to get an opportunity to blow up one of the wedding festivities. Or one of the bites. Or the ossification.
That I forgot about that.
I forgot about that one. Yep, that's secret option C. Let's go with that. Yeah. Seems good.
Okay, then that's pretty well LGGs.
Probably, yeah.
3 walkers on the
I mean, that's tough to. Doesn't matter what you're doing. That's going to be tough to come back from.
Swing. You don't need to go at Wandering Emperor. Go face.
Yeah.
The Eternal Wonder is already at 10 loyalty. You're not going to have enough creatures to kill it. Just go face.
Yeah, and she doesn't have a game-ending ult that's going to...
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's just got a board
some negative 12 or something you need to be worried about. Yeah. Oh, but then Restoration Gajo gets ossification back.
Can't get Kaya. Sorry.
Cannot get Kaya. That is accurate. Hexproof is pretty sweet. So yeah, Eternal Wanderer getting got with that. Sure.
But again, these are taking up precious seconds on Daniel's side.
Yeah, for sure.
You can swing and trade.
Sanctuary Warden, great card. Yeah.
Too bad Kaya's on the field.
Ambitious farmhand, sure. Although at this point,
you're
yeah.
one. Yeah, you're 110%.
I had exactly 3.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yep. Holy Plains Batman. All right.
Put a counter on the on the Sanctuary Warden. And I mean, Hive could kill them because you don't have 3 poison counters on Eyelids yet.
Right. Another Lauren. My goodness. Sure. The value grind, even this late in the game.
Well, I think this game's pretty well wrapped up. I don't think Daniel can win in 7 minutes in the next game.
Right. Because I think there's a high likelihood that Daniel ends up winning game 2. That is very likely to happen. But with that mono white list, having to win an entire game of Magic with under... Oh, and then Kaya's back.
Yeah, so basically Kaya here, go for ossification, blow the world up again. Now it's definitely GG's.
Wow. And it just hit ossification straight away. Yeah.
Blow up the world.
That's that.
You can have a might.
Yes, enjoy 1 might. My goodness.
Hold a blocker.
Yeah, this is unreal.
Can't get Kaya off the field right now.
Yep.
Oh, wait. No, you can. Yeah, you can.
Yep. Yeah, that's the one shot. You got to take it. But the thing with Planeswalkers is the moment they're on the field, you have this... It just changes the cadence of the game. Everything you're trying to do is now targeted, at this Planeswalker instead of your opponent. So this whole time,
you're still not killing me.
Doing with these Planeswalkers is, hey, look over here, look over here, look over here. Meanwhile, they're at 22 life.
Yeah.
So they're jockeying for position, but at no point is Daniel threatening to actually knock Eyelids out of this game.
Yeah, and I mean, Eyelids at the point now where they're like, so you got 5. I'll play it out, sure. You got 5 minutes to win next game.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, like, if I'm Daniel, like, when the clock started showing up, there was a very real... I mean, there's a moment when you look at the clock and you wonder, like, okay, yeah, what can I do here? And granted, they're not in a position... Daniel's not in a position where they could concede.
Mm-hmm.
And go on to game 3 because obviously Eyelids is up a game, but...
Exactly. They can't concede.
Yeah. There's sometimes, like, in game 1, or if you're up a game, sometimes the right thing to do is absolutely concede and move on to game 3. Or 2 in some cases. But, like, conserve the clock when all right, my loss is inevitable. Let's just keep moving. But
so funny. Kind of shitty that they still get to keep the Warden.
Yes, because it is a destroy effect. Yep.
So you might as well just you gotta let them pick the Warden. Whoa.
Wait a minute. I need to check that. Is it a sacrifice?
Isn't it an exile effect?
I sure thought it was, but I could be mistaken. I thought it was a destroy effect. No, it's sacrifice. Sacrifice creatures that control not just... Never mind. Shield counter is irrelevant.
Wow.
All right. So I was wrong on that. Wow. Let's go.
Big drop. Big drop there.
Yeah.
And notably, Daniel still doesn't have Toxic on Eyelids, so still no life gain.
Yep. Yeah, and Eyelids is over here with a 1 loyalty Planeswalker, an ambitious farmhand, and 2 planes in hand. I mean, I don't think I've ever... I mean, honestly, throughout the course of today, I don't think we've seen a less imposing board state from this Orzhov deck. But, yeah, they top deck lands, which...
Eyelids loves drawing lands.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 6, that's what, 9, 12...
Yeah, no, straight up, Eyelids is amazing 13, 14, at drawing 15, lands. 16, I gotta say,
17. I think they've. I don't think they have any more lands to draw.
Yeah, they're just gonna decline that. Like, nah, we're good. Now, Lifelink is now online for the
it just doesn't matter
for the mice, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter at this point. Ossification, sure. In the farmhand, yeah. These are good draws. This is this is a good spot to be in if you're Daniel, but not for the match. Yeah. Yeah, so they're gonna walk away with the victory here in this game.
But now
so
you
we're gonna go on to game
4
3,
minutes,
but 4 minutes and 16 seconds
against a mono white mid range that's known for dirtling.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. This deck is all about grindy value. It's all about grinding into the late game. That's what it does. That's what it's been known to do. And you can't get into the late game with 4 minutes.
You can't get into the late game with 4 minutes.
Yeah, the game plan that this deck is here to do. I mean, if this was, if they were piloting the soldier deck or a mono, like the mono red aggro list, sure, you can win in 4 minutes, no problem. But
like
in this,
when did the clock come on at 9 minutes, right? Or 10 minutes?
The clock becomes visible at 12 minutes. Yeah.
At 12 minutes. So that little bit of game to get that win took 8 minutes.
Yeah. That's oof.
And that's just on that end. That's when we got to see the clock.
Right. Yeah, and we were calling this in game 1. Like there was dead air in game 1 where we were
baby. All right, so you're just gonna Stone Brain on 4. Stone Brain on 4. You want to Stone Brain on 4 so you can have it down and activate it. Grab. What do you think they're gonna be able to try to grind with?
I mean, if you could hit Wedding Announcement, that'd be pretty good.
Wedding Announcement,
Wanderer is great too.
Wedding Announcement or Bank Buster. Those are the 2 cards you're going for. Those are the cards that can kind of kill you fast. That can kill you fast.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because exactly. Eternal Wanderer. If that's the game plan, then you're fine.
Yeah. So Stone Brain here.
Yep. And let's see what Islands goes for.
I think I'm naming Wedding Announcement.
I'm with you on this one.
They say the Wandering Emperor.
Wandering Emperor. Also a fine hit, and they got one out of the hand, which that feels good.
One out of the hand, get the other 3 in the deck. See how they sideboard. This was huge, everyone at home. When you use Stone Brain or any effect that allows you to go into someone's library, don't just pick what you're going for. Look through your entire deck and see how they sideboard against you.
Oh yeah, you can glean a lot from that.
Yeah. Get the other black, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, getting the other swamp. They have Kaya in hand. Not that it's I don't imagine Kaya's going to be relevant here, but you never know.
Noted that
3 minutes 30 seconds.
They don't even see their clock yet.
Yeah, that's something like we just keep talking about the clock, like we kind of won't shut up about it but it will be what decides this game.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things like, yes, we keep harping on about it, but with good reason. Because it's a massive factor, and if you lose sight of it, it can just be your undoing. Yeah. So Destroy Evil on the Wedding Announcement, sure. Fair play. Lay it on for the 1/1 token, sure. Again, totally fair play. But yeah, Islands is sitting on
we just play these lands. I think I'm going Eternal Wanderer here.
Yeah, might as well rock out a Wanderer, maybe 0, and make the 2/2 and call it a day.
I don't think I get a 2/2. I think I just say I think I'm just bouncing the Lauren. You don't have anything on the field, and you just don't want something attacking you.
Sure. Yeah, now they have their own.
Yeah, they're gonna bounce this. Yeah. Come on, land.
Yeah, Wedding Announcement. Lord, these are all fine, but yeah. But 2 minutes 35 seconds. I mean, that's what it is. Yeah. All right. Rocking out another token. Wedding Announcement. I mean, rocking out playing all those tokens though. Okay, so they followed up with Lauren.
Yeah, this is pretty much saying, hey, okay, you can bounce something or you can board wipe me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is
Yeah,
still precious time.
absolutely giving them a board to wipe is kind of
Yeah.
what I just did there.
Well, what this essentially is doing is actually making Daniel think about what they need to do.
Right. Which is honestly, that's exactly what you do. And this whole time, by the way, Daniel is now approaching the 2-minute mark left on the clock. Islet's clock isn't even visible yet, meaning that it is greater than 12. They have more than 12 minutes on that clock.
There's a
Sanctuary
land.
Warden.
I'll take a Sanctuary Warden, thank you.
Yes, thank you for the Sanctuary Warden. Appreciate it. Man, Kai's -3 is so good.
It's so good. It's unbelievably good. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then Daniel
Daniel's
says,
just gonna scoop it
yeah.
up. They in the end they did. It seems that they were aware of the clock. They knew they weren't going to be able to come back. They were hoping Sanctuary Warden would be able to like stick, get in for a couple of attacks, but Kaya just had something to say about that.
Looking for the latest comic book to add to your collection? How about the last card for that Magic the Gathering Commander deck? Well, the comic book stores got you covered. Shop online at comicbookstore.tcgplayerpro.com or come in person at 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey.
This video is brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com.
Pizza people, are you enjoying the content? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that bell icon as well. That way, anytime any of our new content comes out, you're able to see it right away. Hey, leave a comment down below as well. Tell us what you're going to play in the next event, or tell us what you're enjoying about the video. Don't forget, check out the description too. We've got tons of great content down below. And on top of that, we're going to have our tournament schedule too. So get in on it. Hope to see you.
Also, a huge shout out and huge thank you to Strider Stone and Astros Flame, who did commentary during the Swiss. They did a phenomenal job. Great dudes. I gotta say, like, this is gonna sound a little self-serving, but the truth of the matter is, Hollywood Pizza just finds awesome people to do commentary. I gotta say, I'm never just
talent scout. He's a scout.
He is really, like, honestly, he knows the people who can keep the banter alive and keep stuff going on. I'm honored to be in the rotation, to be in that stable. You know, I've been doing it with him for a while now, and I have yet to have a negative experience. Like, if I've ever had the privilege of doing commentary with you, anybody out there listening, I loved it. It was awesome. Because seriously, it's always a good time.
It's always a cheesy time.
Always a cheesy time here at the Pizza Box. Absolutely.
We're in the finals. Eyelids on the play. We got 2 lands, 2 tap lands. Let's see if we can draw an untapped. Ham, I just want to say, my horse got to the finals.
Yep, they did it. And yes, that was a fine selection. I not gonna lie, it's good call. Because honestly, like, looking at this Orzhov list, this Orzhov list is one that I'm amazed by on a couple of levels. One, like, it's so I don't know. I want to make sure that I'm giving Islands appropriate credit, but at the same time, it's almost obvious. Because it's like Black has some of the best removal right now, and just some amazing threats. And in general, is like one of the strongest colors in the game right now. And the other one, the only other color that's in the conversation is white.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, run them both together. Why not? Like, it's right there.
Well, it's funny if you look at the list, it's basically mono white mid range, splash black, so that you can have cut down, go for the throat, Kaya, Phyrexia. Those are
all fun things to splash for, yeah. And Takenuma in the mana base, yep.
Yeah, you're splashing for a better mana, like, not a better mana base, because I mean, if you're running one color, you have a great mana base. But you're more trying to where a mono deck kind of falls to is that they can only do so much. You know what I mean? They can only answer so many cards. Where when you start splashing other colors in, you can start answering different kind of threats.
Absolutely. Well, and Nelson with the Cathar Commando lined up perfectly against the Reckoner Bankbuster that Eyelids had and was frankly counting on.
Ooh, big draw. Big draw.
Slump off the top, never punished. You'll love to see it.
Big draw. Let me find a land, make sure.
Yep. The Restoration puts the planes to hand. Yeah, so that Bankbuster, that 2-lander that Eyelids kept was pretty risky. But drawing the land was huge there. Yeah, you can easily discard the cut down.
Get a Bank
Get the Bank Buster back. Hit your land for turn. Lauren, their Bank Buster. They'll get to draw 1 card here. You feel that's fine. It's perfectly fine. All right. So yeah, wow, just like that. So Eyelids, I gotta say, Restoration of Iganjo, pretty darn good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good when you know there's not a ton of graveyard hate going on, especially in like the main deck. I was gonna say this at the beginning of the game, is that I think this is the mono white list that Eyelids will have some trouble with because of AO.
Yes.
AO does more than just being a 5/4 flying vigilant attacker. It puts permanents into play.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Because in a situation like this, so using Go for the Throat on AO, you kind of just have to and just accept that that's part of the deal now. Unfortunately, Lauren has Vigilance. So by popping AO there, they get the ability to, I would not do this personally because the Wandering Emperor's ability allows it to activate at any point.
Wait, what's happening here? Wait!
So now if they downtick Emperor, you lose the Bank Buster, and that hurts.
That is not,
they lose the Emperor, but I don't think that was worth it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that was an aggressive line by Eyelids. Yeah, because the Wandering Emperor, a lot of the time you see people just drop her and then activate her immediately. But the truth is, you can activate her at flash speed throughout the entire rest of the turn. So because it came into play under AO there, or from AO's trigger, the timing was a little different, but all the same. And now we have an Eternal Wanderer.
I'm going to leave you in Ham's wonderful hands. I have to use the washroom. I'll be right back.
No worries at all, my friend. All right. So yeah, so Eternal Wanderer is now here in the house. Lauren is going to draw everybody a card. Happens to be a land. Okay, so Depop is just hanging out. I don't know that would be optimal here. Although at the same time, Eyelids doesn't really have a great attack on Emperor at this point. So it looks like they're considering the Mightstone Weakstone. They could Mightstone Weakstone, blast the Double Striker. Yeah, downtick the Double Striker. And then swing in. And the Mightstone Weakstone also gives them... Mightstone Weakstone also now gives them mana to activate the Bank Buster, which is nice. All right, so Spirited Companion and Lauren are going to trade. Which means 3 damage is going in on the Eternal Wanderer. That feels pretty good, actually. So now, all of a sudden, Nelson no longer has access. Well, they no longer have blockers, although they're about to take the turn, so that's probably going to change. But for now, Eternal Wanderer's down to 2, meaning that board wipe's off the field. So that's nice. So in all likelihood, something's going to lay down arms on Restoration of Iganjo. Eyelids chooses not to crew the Bank Buster, which I think makes sense because there isn't going to be an attacker here. So there was no need to block, but the moment it became a creature, it could be more susceptible to removal. So I think that makes good sense. All right, they're going to activate Bank Buster. Draw into their own Wandering Emperor. Okay. And do another Wandering Emperor, as it were. Pretty good. All right, so yeah, Lauren can come down here and blow up the Restoration of Iganjo. That is a pretty sweet hit, in my opinion. That's what they're going to do. However, they don't have the mana to follow that up with the Wandering Emperor. So they have the Power Stone mana for the Bank Buster. They can throw the Ambitious Farmhand here, which nothing wrong with that. All right. So here we go. And they did play a land for turn. So good value turn. Jockeying for position pretty well, although Nelson still has a Planeswalker online. And we've seen these games come down to whoever can keep their walkers around the longest tends to walk away with it. So we'll see if that happens here.
I'm back. What did I miss?
Hey, welcome back. A lot, believe it or not, some good value plays for jockeying for position on the board. That's what was going on primarily. So yeah, it's crazy, right? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
All right. But yeah, so Eternal Wanderer is still here, just 0 ticking, but down to 2 loyalty. So we're not going to get wiped anytime soon. But just still rocking out those samurai. And not attacking with any of them. So Wandering Emperor in the house. Now, if the Wandering Emperor... Oh, okay. This is creative. On end step, Islands, it looks like they're thinking about crewing the Bankbuster, which would put Coven online so they could flip the Ambitious Farmhand.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, and this also allows them to put a counter on the Bankbuster, which again, very okay.
Clever.
I like it. They even could have drawn the card off the Bankbuster, but they didn't. But all in all, that's yeah, that was pretty solid.
Counter, first strike.
Ooh, yes, putting counters on a whole bunch of permanents. Oh, which is why they didn't draw the card off the Bankbuster.
Yeah,
they wanted to proliferate and get all the counters, which that's pretty sweet. I can't be mad at that. Now, Nelson has 9 mana up and 4 cards in hand.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't think you need to do anything here. You just need to protect Vraska to 10 loyalty.
Right. The moment you have Vraska, the onus is on your opponent to answer it. Well, Notification will do the job.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
But now, what do they go for here? Okay. That's not entirely a bad loss.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but yeah, you can live with that. Yeah, and also one of the nice things about those enchantment removal spells, one of the things I actually really enjoy over, things like Borrowed Time, Ossification, Leyline Binding, over cards like Skyclave Apparition. I love the fact that when that enchantment gets blown up, you get the thing back. I think that's really important. As far as balance is concerned. Oh my goodness.
Man,
and we mentioned this earlier.
Islands loves drawing lands.
Islands is so good at drawing lands. Man, if you're struggling to draw lands, I would highly recommend connecting with Eyelids and just learning what is their secret. Because my goodness, it's exceptional. Yeah, the prowess and skill when it comes to drawing lands is unmatched. Yeah, it's kind of wild, actually. Right now.
Oh, man. I think that's a missed opportunity. I think I would have put a counter onto the 5/5, make it a 6/6, and swung, because it would have forced them to block with all.
Yeah.
And then you can put in another Wandering Emperor, make it a 7/7, and then you're killing 3 of their tokens.
Well, that is if they chose to block with all. They also could have had a Wandering Emperor of their own, or they could have chose to block or just chump it. So, I don't know. Yeah, it would have been, if that lined up, that would have been nice. No question. But it's kind of funny right now because both players are representing Wandering Emperor. And so as a result, neither of them are swinging. So
it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
How about you?
What are you doing?
No, what are you up to? No, you? No, mate. Yeah, it's so.
And in the main deck, this mono white list does not run Farewell. So their only source of board clearing is the Eternal Wanderer.
Oh wow. Okay.
Only swing with 1. Yeah. Yeah, I like this attack because you're just looking for 2 draws.
Yeah, exactly. You're just doing this to draw cards. Yeah, and you got the double blocks.
Double blocks, just to make sure.
Just in case. That's 4 first strike damage on everybody. That's how this is going to work. All right. More lands and more lands.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. The sheer number of cards that Islands has seen in this game
3,
is
4,
staggering.
8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Plus Oh man, that's a lot of lands. That's a lot of lands.
Well, and I want to set the record straight. If you haven't taken a look at the deck list at this point, there are only 24 lands in this deck.
Yeah, like it's not your typical control list where they're running like 26, 27.
Right. Yeah, if there were like 28, 29 lands, sure, of course they're going to see a lot of them. But with 24, I mean, yes, I understand you have the ambitious farmhands, you have the restoration of Aganjos, sure, but still, this is unreal.
I like that that Nelson's not swinging, and I get why, because they have that 6/6 lifelink. You just don't want them to gain that life.
Sure.
Okay,
yeah, the 6/6 life and the Emperor back. I mean, yeah. All right, so we have a Depop, break the board stall. Interesting that they didn't choose what. Well, yeah.
I definitely, if you're going to board clear, I would have swung with the 6/6. I would have gained the 6 life at least.
Yeah. Now, they would have had to put a first strike counter on it.
I see what they're doing here. They're trying to kill the Eternal Wanderer. I get that.
Yeah, actually, this is a pretty sweet line. So, yeah, that was an interesting sequence, but and
I get what they're trying to do. But, yeah.
Definitely worked out for him, so, okay. But yeah, not getting that life feels like money left on the table. It does.
Yeah.
But had they swung in, there would have been chump blocks. And had they not put a first strike counter on the farmhand, it would have been dead on first strike damage. So another Eternal Wanderer dug on it.
That's fine. They're gonna they're gonna plus, right?
Yeah, they're gonna plus and blink. Yep. So draw a card off that Bankbuster.
Makes 2 blockers, which is actually huge here because they need blockers for.
Okay, Wandering Emperor, pretty good. More lands. Yeah, it seems like if you're watching Eyelids play, you can tell exactly how many turns have gone by just by counting their lands. I don't think Eyelids have missed a land drop in the last like 3 games.
They haven't missed a land drop, and I'm almost positive. Haven't they not casted a Restaurant of Aganjo?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think the one ambitious farmhand I think was the only land fetching they did. Yeah, this is wild. Spirit Companion, great little utility card, sure.
See, right now, Eyelids, it's a mono white list, so it's a race to Kaya.
Yeah. Yep, Nelson just value upon value, blinking their own Bankbusters. That's going to come back in with 3 fresh counters. More card draw. Yeah.
Make more tokens. Now, Eyelids does run 3 board clears. Sorry, wait. 6, because they do run 3 Eternal Wanderers.
All right, so Eternal Wanderer in the house. Yep. Going for the down tick. That makes sense.
Board clear it up.
Yep. Wipe it away. Leave him sitting back with a 2/2 human, I would say. Yep.
And then you're going to go for the throat, pump it up.
Yeah, you got to, the crew, yeah, sure. Crew the Bankbusters.
Yeah. Crew Banky B.
And then, go for the throat and slap Wanderer, right? Or at least go for the throat before blockers. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Any Wandering Emperors? They get a blocker. Oh no, it's not a blocker here. I thought they had another. That was the last token.
And this Wandering Emperor here is going to be able to uptick on the Bankbuster, which means that's going to be able to strike for 7, which is exactly the amount of loyalty counters on that Eternal Wanderer. So well done working with what you got, Eyelids, to make that happen.
Ham, are we going to have another clock game?
I hope not, but this is all game 1 still. So
Game 1.
You never know. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Ham.
What up?
Nelson, no sleeves, no respect.
Whoa, you're right. I just realized that. Man, this whole time has been rocking no sleeves OG Magic card back, which I gotta be honest, I kind of like it. I get what you're saying. I do.
Now,
I understand, but
honestly,
I think it's kind of fun.
If it was no sleeves and we got to keep the crinkled card, like we were like
the April Fool's sleeve was so good.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
if you got to keep that artwork and have that as your cards. Oh my goodness, that would be absolute gas.
Oh, A+. Yeah, 100%. All right, so they're blinking Mightstone to Weakstone. Seems good.
Coming in for quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, swinging him to 7/7. Nelson's just going to take it. Does not want to give up that 3/3 yet.
Draw 2 cards.
All right, cut down with 2 wedding announcements down. I mean, I don't math great. However, pretty sure that's not going to work out well. Sarah Paragon's no joke, though.
Paragon's a huge draw.
Yeah, Lauren blowing up the Mightstone Weakstone. That was a big source of card advantage that is now gone.
With 2 wedding and wedding festivities flipped,
yes,
cut down, doing nothing.
Hard 0. Yep. Last I checked, Nelson does not have any O1s in the deck.
So there's only 1 more ossification in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually pretty good for eyelids because we can clear the board. Hopefully find another Kaya.
All right. Wandering Emperor. Coming down to save herself.
I think, yeah.
Which is a bit of a
That's kind of funny. I never put it that way. Yeah.
Flavorfully, that's kind of interesting. Not sure how that works, but here we are.
Coming from the past to save herself.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Is this time travel?
Yeah, it's kind of pretty twisty. Okay. Yep. Depop at the house.
You're gonna give them a card. Whew.
No, that was the trigger from the because Lauren had come back from Sarah Paragon. So that was the life gain trigger from that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I had that same thought. It was like, wait, they're activating it? No way. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Bankbuster getting blinked makes a lot of sense here. All right.
Don't know if I would have done. Don't know if I would have done that. I think I would have done the same play. I get it. You don't want to lose your Wandering Emperor, but I think I would have made it 2/2 so you could go in for another 7 damage.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. The sheer grind factor on display from these decks.
Oh, Mono White knows nothing more than knows how to grind. Grinding.
Yep. I was like, yeah, am I going to win this game? I don't know, but I know I'm not going to lose it. That's for sure. Yeah. All right. Shonky Bankbuster. Getting crude. Now 7/7 online. Let's see. Does Nelson have an answer? Lay down arms. Ouch.
Definitely another lay down arms. 100% another lay down arms.
Absolutely. Now this Bankbuster has summoning sickness. So it can protect the walkers, but now that it's a creature, it cannot tap for the card draw. And an ossification?
Yeah, there's all 4.
Yep, there they are. Wow.
And ow. Oh.
Ow. Yes. All right. Yeah, Nelson taking a pretty commanding lead on the board here. Which, I mean, looking at the cards in hand over the last turn or 2, that kind of makes sense. Like, Nelson has been sitting with just clear card advantage. Isles has been playing to the board, which is great. I mean, you need to do that, but yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
It's up there.
It's a good card, but what do you do here? Do you just blink AO just to keep it gone?
No, you have to.
Yeah, you gotta blow it up.
You gotta blow it up.
Yeah, but let's see what they spin into here. This could be bad. All right, let's see. What did he hit? Okay. Yeah, the Wandering Emperor, not bad. All right. Yeah, there's the Samurai. All right, so Wandering Emperor just rocking out. I mean, that down tick making a 2/2 Vigilant Samurai is pretty decent, but when they coming in as 4/4s, that's a whole lot nicer. Not gonna lie. All right. Yeah, so that's a 6/6 Bank Buster.
Yeah.
Fresh Sarah Paragon too? My goodness.
Yeah. Now Nelson's gonna clean this up. I think Nelson has
100%.
this win. I think this is where I don't know if Eyelids has anything to kind of come back here.
Yeah, now this is a moment where if I'm Eyelids, I'm seriously considering scooping it up and
I think
saving clock for games 2 and 3.
Save clock for 2 and 3. And I think, what is it? Does Eyelids have Farewell on the side? They do have Farewell on the side. There's no Farewells in the main, so you don't have anything that's gonna get your walkers back.
Yeah. So because if you could hit enchantments with Farewell here, that would be phenomenal. But alas, yeah, exactly. In this game, that can't happen.
Yeah, at this point, I guess you want to see your draw, but you're just killing your clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Restoration, that's not gonna do it.
Scoop it up. You're wasting clock. I don't get it. Stop killing clock.
Yep. So here we are once again talking about the clock.
You literally see what happened last game. You won because of clock.
Yeah. So in this is a situation where right now the clock's not up, but this is game 1, and this game 1 has gone on for a very long time. So the clocks are not in a great position here, I'm sure.
They still have lethal on board, so I don't understand why they would do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, I'm assuming Islands is feeling confident that they've been playing faster than Nelson has, and so the hope is that they wear out Nelson's clock. But if Nelson is up a game,
it's hard to try to say that you're gonna win on time when you're down a game.
Right. That's tough. That's tough. Oh my goodness! And given how much Nelson's played to the board, it is kind of wild to look how many cards they still have left in hand.
Yeah, lots of draws.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I suppose when you have 2 Bank Busters and 3 wedding announcements down, that explains it, you know. Yeah, so here we go. So we'll see if it does end up coming down to clock. I would not be surprised if it does. But yeah, at this point, so you can block 6 of it. Yeah, that's that. So yeah, scoop time.
So just
honestly, I think it was scoop time a little while ago. Yeah,
save your clock. People, save your clock.
Yes.
When people are playing that kind of play style, they're killing your clock.
Yep, exactly. You can't do that. You got to be precious. I mean, when you every format, whether you're playing in paper, whether you're playing on Arena, whether you're playing on MTGO, like the clocks function differently, and depending on depending on what medium you're in to play the game. But you got to be sensitive to it. And when you're on Arena, every time you have priority, you're burning that clock, and it's in best of 3 specifically. In best of 1, you don't have a clock because the rope is present. But in these best of 3 tournaments, man, you got to watch that stuff. So we'll see. It very easily could come down to that, because all of that was game 1. I know we've had some. I feel like we've had some tournaments where we've had 2 rounds in that time, and that was only 1 game. So, yeah, that's a little hyperbolic, but yeah, this is a grindy one for sure. Which is also kind of funny because the tournament itself throughout the day has actually been going pretty quickly, and these decks have been in it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's interesting. All right. But here we go. We're going into game 2. It looks like Nelson is still making some sideboard decisions, which is fair because this Orzhov list, I mean, I would imagine, like you were saying, it's very similar to the mono white list. So if I was sideboarding, I would definitely be sideboarding with that kind of style in mind.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, so because yes, this is a different deck than probably anybody expected to see, but it does play very similarly to the mono white list. So yeah, actually it's kind of wild that I don't know. I'm also interested though, because this clearly works. I mean, the idea of play the mono white list, but just with some of the black utility pieces, it totally works. I'm kind of surprised. I'm just gonna throw this out there. So here's check me on this, or tell me if you think I'm crazy. Do you think a Boros list would work? That's basically just the mono white list with Fable, and maybe a couple of burn spells.
I don't think you want burn spells, right? Because I think you're just like the mono white list is just a grind fest. I could definitely work with red because you're using red to draw more cards, put a blocker on, kind of excel your game plan.
I think I got it. Fable and Jaya. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that could work.
Anyway, just
it's been quite a minute since I've done some building.
Right? Yeah. Well, I know you're always good for a brew. So
I'm always stewing and brewing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cool. So the Steel Seraph coming down from Nelson, which is a card we have not yet seen in this matchup, but my goodness, is it good? Was that came out of the sideboard? It looks like no, they have one main and one side, so freaking awesome, frankly. But Wandering Emperor is going to answer it comfortably. So they were able to get in for an 8-point life swing by crewing the Bankbuster and giving it lifelink. So, I mean, turn 2 Buster, turn 3 Seraph. That's pretty sweet. But like these white decks do, that they have the answer. So here comes the wedding announcement.
Yeah, so this is where Eyeless is just putting on the pressure now. Just throw on the gas. This is a Wandering Emperor, I would imagine. No? Okay.
If it is, they chose not to run it. Oh, it is. Interesting. Yeah, but they chose not to exile the farmhand. Interesting. Instead,
I think they want the body to block. I think they want some bodies.
Sure. That tells me they probably don't have a wipe in their hand. They probably aren't sitting on Eternal Wanderer or Farewell here. Destroy Evil going after the Architect of Restoration, which also knocks Eyelids off of Coven, which they otherwise would have had. Those farmhands could have flipped, which would have been pretty fantastic.
Why didn't you double block there? That's kind of odd to me.
Not sure. So they did not activate Emperor pre-combat main. Gonna make a Samurai, throw out a Bankbuster. Go to end step with Eternal Wanderer in hand, ready to go. So, okay.
Eyelid's playing pretty fast.
Yep. Yeah, I think, Eyelids understands that if they're going to have a chance to win this thing, they need to get Nelson to either burn a whole bunch of clock, which you can't count on. That's outside Eyelids' control. So they're going to move quickly. And, I mean, they're hoping to see game 3. So you got to play fast. Yeah, Nelson, on the other hand, being pretty deliberate because their hope is to finish this out. They're hoping to spend this game, play it well, and end it here, which is fair. Like makes sense.
And you can tell that Nelson doesn't have the Eternal Wanderer because they keep playing creatures to the board.
Right.
So that way you can kind of use that information and be like, okay, they don't have a board wipe, so I can continue. I can just continue to start flooding.
Yep. Well, and so Eyelids chose to activate the Bankbuster and draw a card. The other option that they had, they could have played the Wandering Emperor, but I don't think that would have made a lot of sense. But they also could have activated Mirex.
Yeah.
And they didn't. Instead, they chose to draw a card, which, you know, I'm not mad at that. All right, so Coven is online. The ambitious farmhand is attacking. Let's see if Nelson bites on this, because that's going to flip into a 4/4 lifelinker.
It is definitely going to flip to a 4/4, and yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, that mana might be better spent elsewhere.
I think it would. Oh, I don't know. That's kind of a hard thing. I think I would have flipped so I can gain that life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the life gain's relevant. Yeah, and at this point, Islands is also only attacking with one creature at a time.
So and noted, last game we did not see a Kaya. If we had seen a Kaya that last game,
true.
Oh man,
that
Nelson would have been in some trouble.
Yep, that definitely would have changed things. Yeah, because Kaya gives you inevitability, which is something that you need in this matchup.
Yeah, like here's a clock.
Speaking of, there she is.
There you go. So like, here's a clock. I have blockers. What do you wish to do?
Right. Okay. So attacking in with 2. Keeping 3 creatures back and plenty of mana.
You're not flipping farmhand here.
Probably not, because you'd rather be playing Kaya. All right, Field of Ruin on Mirax. Sure. Tapping it for mana like a pro. Let's see. I could use that mana. Well, yeah, if they use the mana to flip the farmhand, they still won't. They will then not be able to cast Kaya post combat.
Yeah, they still won't have enough. They would have enough to draw in Kaya.
Yes. Oh wow! All right.
Now you're flipping.
Yeah,
now you're flipping. But now you're kind of walking into. Okay, I was like, now you're kind of walking into a Wandering Emperor.
Potentially. But no, they're gonna knock out the Bankbuster.
I'll go Bankbuster. Go on life total. No, you don't have the mana for it.
Yeah, 1 mana shy. Yeah.
Don't have the mana for it.
Yeah, they could still. Well, they could drop the Bankbuster. I mean, they could soul transfer here.
I think honestly, I would be soul transferring there. Get rid of the Wanderer. Get rid of the Wanderer and get back a farmhand. But I guess you're thinking of, if I lose a Walker here, I can get the Walker back.
Yeah, and at this point, they can flip the other farmhand and draw a card. So, well, okay. Yeah, wedding festivities are going to get tagged. It's unfortunate. Although Lauren is now online, which is a fine Kaya target, if I may say. So we might see a Kaya downtick next turn. I would not be surprised.
Huh?
Not 100% sure.
I get what they're trying to do here. They're going to block and then Wandering Emperor, maybe? No, they're just going to get the... Okay.
Yeah, drawing a card here. It's another Kaya, Ragon. Oh, and that creates the treasure token. Yeah.
No, I
was the last counter coming off.
But still, like, they can make another Wanderer, though, to the same sense, and then it's still a trade.
Well, let's see. Does Nelson have another Wanderer?
Ooh.
And Nelson's timer is not visible. They're at 12 minutes left on the clock.
12 minutes to win this game.
Yep. Ayo. Another phenomenal Kaya target. Probably better than Lauren now, because that will deny your opponent the death trigger and give you a chump blocker that gives you that death trigger. So that seems good.
Yeah, and you have blockers for days.
Oh yeah. No, in these matchups, combat is, I mean, the game often comes down to how combat lines up, but
yeah, combat is irrelevant, and I would not be swinging here. I wouldn't. I still, even with the counter, I would not be applying any kind of pressure here.
They're going all in. It's interesting. Okay, no, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on
wait
here?
a minute.
I was like, is Eyelids tired? And they're just throwing.
It's been a long day. I don't know. Send it. Let's see what happens. Yeah. We've all had those games, right? I know. I definitely had Commander games where it's just like, this has got to end sometime. Send everything. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, where I know like this is an optimal, but never with any kind of stakes, you know. All right.
Okay, we at least have the Soul Transfer to get rid of the Eternal Wanderer because they're gonna board wipe here. We're gonna get something with Owl.
Right. Ossification.
Sure.
Going after Owl. Yep, that makes sense.
Going after Owl. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Board wipe.
Yeah, here comes the down tick. All right. Yeah,
Sure.
Nelson lined that up nicely so that, yeah, so they've got
They
enough
kill both.
enough power to
Yeah.
take out both planeswalkers. That was, yeah, really well sequenced. Now, to be fair, Islets has a Bank Buster with 2++ counters on it, and the Kaya in hand that Nelson didn't know about, you know. So here we are. Bank Buster crashing in, presumably going to just eat the Samurai. Yep. Nom nom nom. All right, Resto of Aganjo in the mix. Oh, and this gives them, yeah, so the Entwine is online there. They're able to grab their other Kaya back and get rid of the Eternal Wanderer. That was pretty slick. Yeah, Soul Transfer getting some work done.
Yeah, and we can also, the fun fact too, we can also Kaya their Ossification and grab their Wandering Emperor.
Indeed. That seems pretty good. Yeah, I mean, if you're Nelson and you know Kaya's coming down, you're not feeling good.
Yeah, what do you do here? I can't play out a creature because I'll probably lose that creature. I can't play an enchantment because I'll lose that as well.
Right.
Can't really, like, there's no point in board wiping here.
Yeah, and Islands is over here with, I mean, the only creature they have is the Pilot, but that's enough to activate that 6/6, which is clearly getting some work done. So the Spirit of Companion coming down, drawing a card, sure. And Roadside Reliquary, going to draw 2, sure. Because that is also triggered by the...
just needs to
yeah,
either grind this game down to time and then wins both games, or win this game somehow.
Right.
Oh, man. Lauren's a great draw here.
Oh,
I think you're bringing a Mirix for sure.
Yeah, seems good. Farman can do some work, no question, but I think Mirix is just stronger. Now, there is a Field of Ruin on the other side, but make him use it.
Make them use it. Well, and again, making them use the Field of Ruin and Demolition Field is time off the clock.
Yep, it's time off the clock, and it's I mean, Wedding Festivities or Ossification? Yeah, the Ossification is looking good.
I think we'll grab an Ossification just so you can grab one of their tokens. It's a double removal.
No, actually, no. Sorry, you don't get the copy of the Ossification because it's an aura.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. So Kaya doesn't let you do that, unfortunately.
All right.
But yeah, so okay, they got the Wedding Festivities online now. That's no joke. And they denied it from their opponent, which
think away. You got 8 minutes.
Yep.
So our Paragon's pretty good. You're gonna get your Bank Buster back.
Yeah, so here we have an interesting situation.
You can play your Lauren, get rid of the bank.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're probably gonna kill the wedding and the wedding festivities.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Wedding Festivities. That removes a 2/2, and their board is much less imposing all of a sudden.
Lay down arms, sure.
Yep. But yeah, so at this point, looking at the clocks, I mean, Nelson is at 8 minutes, 24 seconds. Islets is 11 minutes and 4 seconds. So Islets has the advantage on that front, but Nelson is up a game. So Nelson needs to end this game. You know, this is technically only game 2, but this will likely decide the finals of this tournament.
Go
Which,
ahead.
if I may say, is freaking wild. But here we are.
Block
so
that.
Kaya getting taken out on attacks.
Oh, this is huge. Okay, so I think you're gonna Kaya still. Get rid of the Sarah Paragon.
Yeah.
Grab the grab whatever out of your yard.
Mm-hmm. No, Kaya is such a big deal in this game. Oh my goodness.
Kaya is huge. I think Kaya is huge in any matchup, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially if you're playing control, man, it's just so hard. Like when you're getting to the nitty-gritty.
Oh yeah. I mean, just she drains your opponent. So she's a 6-point life swing on the plus. And that's as bad as it gets. She can also get you card advantage or steal your opponent's best thing in a roundabout way. Like, yeah, no, she's great. I think that card is truly fantastic. Yeah, I definitely need to be playing more Kaya these days. That's for sure.
I'm a firm believer of Kaya. Firm believer.
Yeah. Oh, with good reason. My goodness. The other thing I find fascinating is how efficiently these decks are removing the opponent's board state. Like, they just don't, you know, here we are in deep into a late grindy match. You know, and Nelson, who is still in this game and still holding strong, has 3 creatures on board. You know, and 2 of them are Spirited Companions. Like, what? Like, it's wild. I think anyway.
Yeah, we got Wandering Emperor for first strike, so they don't lose the creature.
Mm-hmm. They're blocking. They're blocking with the Sarah Paragon.
Oh, 100%. You need to get it off the field.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that gets Lauren off the field. Sorry, I was thinking that I thought Kai was only a 1 loyalty, but no, she was a 3. So that makes sense. Okay, fair enough.
Land. This is where I'm drawing. Draw 2, scry.
That makes sense.
Ton of mana. I get this play because you want to make sure that Kai is at 3, not at 2.
Sure. And you draw Proliferate. They're proliferating their wedding announcement, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Well, they're gonna have the anthem.
Blockers
and now the Bankbuster can block, so all right.
Yeah, blockers block.
No, so fair enough. All right. Yeah, so the one wedding announcement flips. So it looks like the one wedding announcement flips. We have the other one. It looks like we are experiencing some technical difficulty. Sorry, everybody. All right. So Restoration of Aganjo triggering. And yeah, Kaya now with hexproof and blockers and 5 loyalty. That is what you want to see. Doesn't play another Bankbuster. Good value play. Draws a lot of cards throughout the course of the game, but yeah, what can we do? Yeah, because Kaya's poised for another down tick next turn. You know, and stealing that Restoration of Aganjo or stealing one of the Spirited or that Lauren are all pretty good hits here. All right, so the wedding festivities are gonna get got.
We're back.
Excellent. Welcome back. All right. Perfect. Yeah, so Nelson is committed, playing out to the board here. Clock keeps ticking down under 6 minutes. I mean, at this point, this is only game. Like, Nelson needs to win this game, and they're currently behind on board.
And Islets has 9 minutes, so this is even. This was huge. This is a big nail biter.
Yeah, so Nelson needs to knock out Eyelids in the next almost not quite 6 minutes of priority. Meanwhile, all Eyelids has to do, Eyelids is on defense right now. All Eyelids has to do is not die in the next 5 minutes and 40 seconds and not let their own clock somehow wind down super fast. So, yeah, and Eyelids drawing into more walkers. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no need to attack. Just sit back.
Yeah, sit back.
Yeah, take it easy. Just guard your
Sit
face.
back. Live it up.
Yep, keep those mitts up. Just stay.
You just got to keep blocking. Stay alive. That's literally literally got to stay alive.
Just got to stay alive. And Nelson's deck, I mean, these white decks are great at getting incremental value and removing threats, and they do that so well. But you just
all right. So Nelson sees it. Nelson says, "Okay, I can't win in 5 minutes.
I cannot win this game. We're gonna go on to game 3."
Yeah,
and potentially sideboard super aggressively to try to find a way to
what a game! Fast. What a game! I'm happy that Nelson sees that. That it's clock playing. It's like, okay, I can't win this game. I need to try to win the next one.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that was That was smart. I think that was a really good move. You got to play your outs.
I think that was the smartest play of the tournament. Just recognizing, I cannot win this game right now. Let's go to game 3.
Absolutely. I mean, 5 minutes is not a lot. So,
well, if Nelson draws really well and then Eyelids draws really poorly, they can't. Like Mono White does have the ability to put a little bit of pressure. They can't kill you fast, but they can put a little bit of pressure on you.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Game 3. Down to the wire. Here in the finals. At the Pizza Box. Standard slice. Oh my goodness. Well, Eyelids great at drawing lands. Looking at 5. One of which is Mirax, which is nice, to be fair. Yeah, Nelson leading off a Spirited Companion, playing quickly. They see what's going on. Eyelids continuing to draw lands, and then going to play the Restoration of Aganjo, which is going to draw another land. Nelson leading off with their own Restoration of Aganjo. Very nice.
Again, this is I get it, but this is clock killing. Look how many seconds. 4, 3, 4, 7, 8. 8 seconds to play in Aganjo.
Yeah. Yeah, but free Bank Buster. That's good value. And you have Spirited Companion, more Bank Buster. Yeah, the way that these triggers stack.
Yeah,
each player is holding priority a lot.
That's a smart play. I would have just literally, if I had no play, just draw.
Yeah, and Nelson did exactly that. Like the optimal play is to wait until the end step and then draw. But Nelson was like, "Nope, quit passing it to me. I'm drawing right now."
Yeah.
Which was smart. Yeah, if you're not sitting on removal, just keep those suckers tapped.
Like the clock is this is very close. It's very close. Draw now. Get rid of those. Get rid of that triggers. Yeah.
Nope. Just
I have no plays.
Tap
draw,
out.
draw.
Tap, 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 tap. And he's got another Bank Buster. My goodness. Okay.
6 lands, Wandering Emperor. Probably going to play the Eternal. No?
Yeah, I would say if I'm Eyelids, I'm probably... Well, they choose not to. They choose to keep everything up. So Wandering Emperor is just live.
And Eyelids is being super smart here. Not playing the Mirax. Because the Mirax is, again, it's time triggers.
Right. All right, so Lauren's going to blow up the Restoration, or the Architect of Restoration. Nelson swinging with their own Architect of Restoration, which does have Vigilance. So the Wandering Emperor isn't a clean answer to it. Yeah, Nelson just pass. Playing super fast. And doing a fine job at the moment.
Yeah, now the Wanderer's going to come down here, clean up the board real nice.
Presumably. Especially now that 1/1 Spirit is there. Because that allows Eyelids to stick Nelson with a really unpleasant board state.
You can have a Spirit. Enjoy it.
By all means. Spirit was, the last one to the party, so it's only fitting that they stick around.
It's a big nail biter, let me tell you, because it's only, what, 3 minutes apart? 2.5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, yeah, both players have low clocks right now. I mean, Nelson's definitely the scary one. Oh, Steel Seraph. That ain't bad.
This is actually huge because you can give it flying. Give it flying,
Correct.
and then you're going to kill the Eternal. Whoa.
Yeah, you need to get rid of them both, but although to be fair, if Eternal Wanderer blinks the Steel Seraph, it comes back as a 6/5. But if Islets plays that Depop after smacking around a little bit, it's gonna feel pretty bad. Yeah. All right. Eternal Wanderer just gonna blink the Spirit. And all of a sudden, Eyelids is looking like they might actually just go for the kill, which, I mean, hey.
3 minutes.
Good
3
for them.
minutes!
This is wild.
Imagine you asking a mono white player to win in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Vigilance, sure.
Vigilance, yeah, because they need a blocker because you have quite a few attackers here.
Yeah, absolutely. They need a blocker, and also you need to make sure that the Steel Seraph is not susceptible to any Wandering Emperors.
Lauren's huge because Lawrence is going to kill the Steel Seraph.
Yep. Speaking of Lauren, Nelson has one of their own. And 2.5 minutes to win this game. So they are leaning on Steel Seraph pretty darn hard here.
Oh, it's a 4-minute difference. Sorry, not a 2.5.
Oh, yeah. So, no, it's quite
2:30 to 6:30.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, this is, my goodness.
So what do you choose to block with?
Taking out the Vigilant 3/3. Lauren blocking. Okay. Interesting. That's not a 7.
Big Depop.
Yeah.
I would Depop here. I would Depop and Lauren.
Yep. Yeah, Depop is such that is just such a blow to what Nelson was trying to do. And this now busting the Bag Buster. So Nelson has a ton of cards, and they have, their mana base is, well, I mean, they got 5 lands compared to Eyelids. That's not looking
great. Well, I mean, it's like, okay, I got no cards. Eyelids like, I got no cards. Go ahead.
Yep, this is everything I've got. Do what you want to do. So Lauren answers the Bank Buster, which, sure.
Can you do 17 damage? Oh, big Lauren.
Wow, okay.
Swing it.
Yeah.
Swing and draw.
Punch it on in.
Draw first. Oh.
They're not gonna. Interesting. Yeah, they still have the option, but they also have the Demirex. Just
they do have Mirex.
Okay.
Oh no.
Wow, we have oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Wow, okay. Something is happening here.
Okay, we can jump over to the other side. Oh no.
It looks like Islands might be having some computer challenges here, which is definitely about the worst possible time for that.
Oh no. Okay, looks like they're back. Looks like they're back.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. That was nerve-wracking.
Yep. Okay. Whew.
All right, Mirex. Sorry. Oh. All right. So Mirex is doing his thing, providing that inevitability that we previously discussed. And just crashing in. Nelson down to 4 with 2 poison counters.
Oh, Banky B.
Yep, Banky B. Now, Eternal Wanderer is here, so some things can happen, but I mean, making it a couple of double strikers could help, but I don't see that being enough to make it happen here. Because honestly, if Eyelids spends... Eyelids has the mana to activate both Mirex. Okay. So Lauren's coming with Lifelink. I was seriously considering blocking.
My heart is beating. I can only
Right?
imagine what these players are going through right now.
Oh yeah. All right, so Mirex is gonna create a mite that's gonna hop into the bank buster. Oh my goodness. So we've been watching Lauren beat up on bank busters all day, and right now the bank buster slaps back. All right, but now Eternal Wanderer down ticks. Now, if your eyelids,
Yeah.
do you...
And you can't draw.
Yep. Yeah, so it's just Mirex time. Hitting a land.
Right. I think the game's over. There's no possible realm that you can win in a minute.
Yeah, this one, like, if there was another 4 minutes on this clock,
no,
I think Nelson would walk away with this.
I think Nelson only needs another 30 seconds.
Right?
Nelson only needs another 30 seconds because you can have those the Eternal Wanderer tokens can kill fast.
They can. And his mic can't block. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And they're playing. And Elspeth. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Flood the board.
Yeah, flood the board, but do it fast.
Vigilance.
Yep.
This is eating up precious time. 6.
It is. They're doing. Yeah, Nelson's doing what they can.
Eyelids
go.
Eyelids needs a blocker here. Needs anything.
And
needs a board wipe.
Oh, board wipe here would be devastating. Or even a Kaya. Being able to like steal the Seraph would be huge. Farmhand, that's a blocker. Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
this doesn't do it. Eyelids just has to swing. They have to bounce at Eternal Wanderer, and swing.
All right, we got 34 seconds on the clock.
That's a
Double Striker has liftoff. Plus a counter. 28 seconds.
That's 11. That's lethal. That's lethal.
Don't overthink it. Just go.
It's lethal. It's lethal.
And Nelson knows that Isles only has a plane in hand. We have 17 seconds on the clock. Attack all.
Oh, man.
Holy cow.
Didn't need 30 seconds. They just needed the Eternal Wanderer. Wow.
Nelson with 13 seconds